Hey guys, good evening. I'm doing sound check and I cannot hear myself, so I don't know what's going on. Hey, beautiful people, can you hear me? Not sure if the sound is good now. Hey guys, if you can hear me, please confirm. Good evening, welcome back to our channel. Oh crap. Hey, beautiful people. Good evening. You can hear me? Okay, I can hear myself now. I wasn't hearing myself. Good evening. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. How is everybody doing? I hope you are well. Happy Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, the 13th day of the month of September in the year of our Lord 2022. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Please give this video a thumbs up before we get into it. Thank you so much, Obodo fam. I appreciate you. Hi. I throw salutes. You can hear me loud and clear, Michael. Oh, okay. That's Uncle Ade. Thank you, sir. Eshe Goni, thank you very much. Good evening, good afternoon. Welcome. I appreciate you. Please give this video a thumbs up, share it if you can, and please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not yet done so already. I believe everybody in the studio is subscribed because it's only people who are subscribed that can join our chat. But if you are watching us from other devices and you are not in the studio on YouTube, you can also subscribe using any of your devices. YouTube subscription is absolutely free of charge. So please join our family. Thank you so much. Today we are going to talk about insecurities in relationships. Yeah, the story we are sharing with you tonight is centered on insecurities. So I'm going to run through the story as usual. You know that why we share the story, because the story is like our case study. The lessons are usually not, very far from the story. We also draw from the lessons based on the story. Okay, so we are talking about this Cameroonian man today. My Obodo fam who are Cameroonians, some of them who live in Canada shared it with me. The incident happened in Canada last week. I think it was late last week. It was when we finished the show on Saturday, I think. Was it Saturday or so that we did the last show that, people started sharing with me, Auntie B, don't happen again, no, Auntie B, don't happen again, no. Whenever I see those messages, my heart go just the beat like, oh my God, not again. Anyway, it's life, innit? That's why we're here every day, to learn and unlearn. And hopefully somebody somewhere who had any intention towards leaning this way will repent and not do so. So this incident happened in Montreal, Canada. Okay. I think it's somewhere in Canada, but the report I'm reading from this newspaper, I think the newspaper is called Cameroon News Agency. It says that a 29 years old, her name is Giselle Itale Bitandi. That's the young lady that you guys are seeing. She's 29 years old, or she was 29 years old, right? 29, just 29. She's an imported wife, right? So the husband went to Nigeria to Cameroon. Sorry, I'm saying Nigeria, to bring her to Canada to marry her. Okay. So at that point, they had not released his name. So they were just saying that, undisclosed. You know how police, they do their investigation now. At that point, they didn't disclose him because it was on the loose. All they saying in that article was the fact that the man, he don't buy his wife, right? He don't delete his wife. So he was previously married before. He was previously married before. And this young lady called Giselle is a mother of three. She died in hospital. And all her friends and her family members were pointing accusing fingers to her husband. You know how family and friends usually know when there's abuse in relationships? Some will try to help, some will do nothing. Okay? But they usually know. People that are close. How did Osinachi's husband, that's how they caught him. But it's unfortunate that it's only when the person is gone, that's when they will begin to speak up in most cases. I don't know why our community is like that. People just like to look the other way. I don't know how people can. I can't do that. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing on YouTube. I cannot look away. I just cannot. I can't look away. But a lot of people unfortunately do. Either they feel like, oh, it's none of my business, or they feel like even if I talk, she's not going to leave for whatever reason. They do look away. But close family and friends usually know. They know what's up. Most times they know. And so they were the ones that were not talking to Olokpa now, saying that he's a very violent man, that he used to beat her up and she would run for help. And after giving birth to their third child a few weeks ago, she's only giving birth to, I think she has a baby, a little baby. We have some people in the studio who actually know this man. I have somebody who is an Obodo farm from Cameroon who knows him. I went to secondary school with him. So hopefully they'll be able to share more. And they said that he's someone that has serious anger issues. So she just gave birth. I'm going to tell you how old the baby is. And the story says that she ran for safety to a friend's house just recently. The man is in his 50s. And they say he's known to law enforcement in Canada there. He's known to them. They've arrested him before for DV. He's been given a restraining order not to call or approach his ex-wife. This is ex-wife. Unfortunately, he went against the order and went to meet her wherever she was and deleted her. The children were in the car when this incident happened. They were in the back seats. Giselle was a customer service representative at a telecom company in Canada and was a former student of government high school Limbe at the University of Biu in Cameroon. Right? That's just a brief history about her. So the story is that this Mongo Park was married before, right? This is his second wife. You know how when the first one don't work, you are thinking now, okay, let's go and look for innocent one from Africa. The one that won't know anything, but someone with insecurities and anger issues, whether you marry from moon or sun, the behavior will still come out. It will come out. Right. So 5 years he married her and she had 3 kids, and this is the second wife. The first wife left him 6 years ago due to DV. And one thing I'm going to say just before I forget, Ejo, Tori Olorun, please, my people, brethren in the Lord, our people, if anybody has been married before, one thing, if you don't take anything away from this show tonight, one thing you must please don't forget is that when somebody has been married before and they are coming to ask you to marry them, you need to find out from their ex what happened, or neutral people if you don't have access to their ex, and this happens to both men and women. Okay, so for instance, if you're a man, you want to marry a woman, don't go by her word that she's just saying this my ex is a devil, he did this, he did this to me, he did it. Find out from mutual people what truly happened between that woman and her ex. And if you are a woman, you want to marry a man, and the man start to talk about his ex-wife, how she did this, she did that, she did this, don't take his word for it. Oh, women are very, very gullible. We are. I don't know why. God has just made us in a way that we are so impressionable, especially the younger ones. They will believe anything. It won't even occur to them to ask questions. They just believe everything that someone tells them Hook, liner, and sinker, just like that. Hmm? Okay. Yvonne is here and she's saying that Auntie B, this guy is my husband's younger junior sister's classmate in secondary school. He always used to preach to me and send messages to her about God and forgiveness, always carrying the Bible up and down. Oh, so it's a church. It's a church going Mongo Park we have in the building again today. Aha. When I was saying something about brothers in the church the other day, a lot of people did not, they didn't like what I was saying. I could tell, and it was mostly women that didn't like it. A lot of women didn't, they were not comfortable with what I'm saying. But the earlier you realize that church is like a hospital where different diagnoses exist, people with different sicknesses and different diagnoses, mental and physical exist, the earlier you will have peace in your life. That is not everybody that says Lord, Lord that is of God, or it's not everybody that is saying God that goes to church that actually knows God. No matter. So, 29 years old. Hmm? They said that the wife that he married before in Canada left him. Hmm? And he went to Africa to go and marry this one. Under how many years? 5 years. She don't born 3 children, no. So that tells me that she was pregnant back to back to back again. Because it takes 9 months for pregnancy. And that means by the time that one is one, you're already pregnant for the next one. Within 5 years, 3 children. Okay? So according to someone that knows the situation personally, said that the couple were on a judicial separation following countless moments of, you know, DV situations on the girl. His name is Hosea. Hosea. Is it Hosea or Hosea? I don't know. Hosea. That's his name. So 2 years judicial separation was granted to them under strict observation by the reverend pastor assigned to the court. So he now thought that somebody was seeing his wife, even though they are not together. Can you hear something? People that are separated, and this is what I was saying about insecurity. Insecurity is what I want to dwell on tonight, guys. It's a very, very big, it's a core issue why people keep deleting people. I learned another word from Omoye's show yesterday. Omoye said unlife people. Unlife is another word. When someone has the intention to unlife somebody and they plan it, they are strategic about it, and they intentionally go and unlife another person. It's coming from a place of deep insecurity. Okay? They said he was very, very quiet. You know what, this calm brother? Very calm one. Now, Bible. Oh, bless you. Soft spoken, they don't talk. I'm not saying that all quiet people are bad or they are evil, but like a pastor I know said, even if someone doesn't talk, they are calm and they are somewhat withdrawn, or they are very quiet people. They are talking in their mind. All right? Africans always think that people who talk, who are assertive, and they are bad people, they are quiet people, or shyness is a quality that, oh, he must be a good person. When someone is shy or timid, let's even use the word timid, because a lot of insecurities is hidden under timidity. Some people are timid. They don't have confidence. And you say, oh, he's so quiet. Oh, she's so quiet. She doesn't talk. She doesn't talk. If you don't talk, your mouth go smell. You go, they smell. This is real. No joke. Okay? So, you can't suspect, say, somebody is dating the wife. So, these people were telling me that this man, he went to Cameroon to marry her. Small girl, oh, as at the time he married her. So, he married her when she was just 24 or 25, because she was 29 by the time he deleted her. Went to Cameroon, got a small girl, university graduate, brought her to Canada. Very, very insecure. They say anytime this Giselle will greet a man, now fight, oh. He will fight, oh. He does not tolerate it. How dare you greet my wife? You cannot greet her. Many times he will storm her place of work. I don't even know how she managed to work. If you have, under 5 years, you have three children. How did she cope with working? I'm sure she was probably leaving the house to get away from the madness, right? They say one time he went to her workplace, he caused a lot of chaos there, shouting, at the top of it, accusing her, always accusing her of cheating. This is coming from a deep place of insecurity. And let me tell you something. There are some people, that is the way their mind is programmed, and it's men and women. Okay? Yeah. It's always twice their age, Neka. He was in his 50s and she was 24 years old. Yes. They always like young ones. And somebody was saying, why didn't she do her research properly before she agreed? I'm like, she's in Cameroon. How do you research someone who lives in Canada from Cameroon? These young ladies don't have such resources. Are they going to hire somebody? So when it comes to Africa, the average African girl is very naive. Like they believe that, okay, if you come down, when you present to them, they will take you for who you say you are. Okay? Don't forget that this would have been a long distance relationship where they don't get to know each other. Okay? Maybe visited her once or twice and then married, boom. A lot of people do that. And in some cases, it works. Okay? I'm not going to join the bandwagon of people, even though I personally don't encourage it, but I'm not going to join the bandwagon of people that are saying, oh, every marriage that is diaspora marriage, deported wife does not work. Some do work, but a lot of them don't. That's what I know. Okay? So every time, this uncle, you go attack this small girl, you go beat her seriously. You go challenge all him male colleagues at work. How dare you greet my wife? He will threaten them. Visit her odd hours at her place of work without calling. She was a sales girl, though. And if she's not on seat by the time it gets to her workplace, another wahala. Where were you? You went to toilet. How dare you go to toilet? Don't you know that you are supposed to sit on your seat? Insecurity is a very dangerous emotion. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it's not about what you have done to the other person or what you haven't done. It is who they are. And it comes from a deep place of lack of self-love and lack of self-esteem. That's why I put it there on the screen so that everybody can see it. All right, I'm going to break that down in a minute. Let me just run through the story. So when the wahala was getting too much for her, the DV was getting too much for her, the abuse was getting too much, she filed a complaint to the police. She got a restraining order. But unfortunately for her, that morning that he deleted her, he went to find out where she was. And that was it. That was it. He deleted her in the presence of the children. It happened in a car park, they said. The police said that the incident happened in an outdoor parking lot outside the apartment building where she fled to. But he ran. Make you see, Mongo Park, they are usually cowards. When they don't do the thing finish, they will come run. I see one of the picture where I look the man like that. You don't even open eyes. You don't even open eyes. Still they dress like somebody waiting for Sambisa Forest. You know, see as the dress for that picture. It still be like who day for Sambisa Forest. So he went there. So another lesson that we quickly need to learn from this tonight is that restraining order is a piece of paper. Restraining order, you see, it is good, but it does not fully protect you because it doesn't stop a mad person from doing whatever they want to do to you. So going to get a restraining order is quite right. It's quite okay. That is what the law demands. But protecting yourself is another thing, and I'm all about safeguarding. Safeguarding is about looking at risk. What are the risks? What are the risks that you are exposed to? You know this man is crazy. You know he's threatened you before. You know he can likely do something because, he's a Mongo Park. His head is not correct. There's something wrong with his brain. So, can he find you? So while you are taking a restraining order, also be thinking about your own safety. And that's why you need to disappear. Some people, they need to disappear, depending on who you are dealing with. You need to just disappear completely. He went to marry a girl twice his age, young enough to be his daughter. After first marriage fell apart, brought her from Africa. I don't know what he was expecting. Maybe he thought that, oh, this one is from Cameroon. She's, homegrown. She's a cultural. She was whatever. That she would say whatever I say to her, she will say it. If I tell her sit down, she'll sit down. If I tell her stand up, she'll stand up. But it didn't quite work out the way he planned, because people have their own minds and people have their own life. You cannot control another human being, and you want to control every aspect of their lives. No, you can't. You can do it for a while, but the day the person will wake up and say, she Dini, did you jazz me? Is it not be juju be this? The person will break out. So this is how this young, beautiful girl got unlived. Let me use Omoye's term. She was unlived. Of course, it ran. So when my Cameroonian Obodo fam started talking to me about it, we were chatting and I said, oh, and one of them said, he's on the loose now, he's running. I say, give the police. I remember saying to one of them, I said, before this show, they would have apprehended him. The next day, she sent me a message and said, Auntie B, you were right though, they've caught him. I said, Lobatan, where is he going to run to? There is no hiding place for the wicked. If you think that what another human being deserves is for you to unlive them, then you too, your life will be taken away. It's simple. I mean, kilo leto benye. What is so serious that you need to go to that extent? Why? It's because you cannot control your emotions. So I was talking about insecurities and the problem of insecurity in marriages, right? The core cause of insecurity in marriages, and I'm going to repeat it, is lack of self-love. And that's why even before you get into a relationship or marriage, you must love yourself. If you don't love yourself, you cannot love another person in a balanced way. Because there's some kind of love that you say you love someone that is dangerous love, endless love, and this kind Romeo and Juliet love. You see what I'm saying? So you need to first of all love yourself, and this goes to both gender. Whether you are a man or a woman, love yourself. And it's another thing that people should look out for. Red flag in relationships, when going into a relationship, do they love themselves? Does that person love themselves? Because people who don't love themselves, and they usually have esteem issues, self-esteem issues, they don't have self-love, and that breeds insecurity. Insecurity is very, very bad, and it can be anybody. Very, very bad and very, very dangerous. So they begin to harbor this kind of very harmful beliefs without you doing anything, no, because it's already in their head. Remember, the person does not love themselves. So let's take, for instance, this Hosea, this uncle we are talking about now. One marriage has failed. So I'm sure in his mind is like, me that went to Cameroon to go and marry you. I brought you to Canada and you want to come and show me that you are in a Western world, I will teach you a lesson. So in his mind already, one marriage has failed. He start thinking now that, this one cannot fail. Oh. If this one fails, it means people will think I'm a bad person. So he's got something to prove. And people who have something to prove again, there is a problem with it. When you are trying to prove that, okay, this thing that they are saying I am, because I'm sure the ex-wife, Omati Rojo, he would have told the whole world about, their marriage and how crazy he is. Now he's got something to prove. Yes. Somebody said another very, very important one. Ifunanya, some men cannot handle rejection. Unfortunately, yes. That is very, very correct. Absolutely correct. So they have harmful beliefs, e.g., they fear failure. This marriage cannot end though. How can my marriage end? No way. This is my second marriage. This small girl, she wants to rubbish me. No way. Or, the other way around. And the people who have all these beliefs also, they think they don't deserve love. They have endless doubts. They have to second guess you every time. They check everything. Wherever you say you are going, they are checking. They want to do WhatsApp call, do video call, FaceTime. so that they can be reassured. Constantly reassuring somebody about something you didn't do is exhausting. It's exhausting. Very, very exhausting. All the time you have to be reassuring them. Okay, I didn't do this. Are you sure? Who did you talk to? Who phoned you today? Who is too much. It's exhausting. I don't need to always be reassuring you, reassuring you should be confident. The foundation of any good relationship is trust. There needs to be trust. And that's why I went very hard on our uncle Bishop the other day that was saying that deception is a part of life, it's part of Bible. It's not today deception has been happening. Without trust, you cannot have a meaningful relationship. I trust you. If you tell me you are going to have a share, I believe you. I don't need you to do video call to show me, except you give me a reason to doubt you. Before I will now start to doubt that, okay, maybe you like. For me, this is how my mind works. I'm very trusty. I trust easily. And that's why honesty is very important to me. Because I'm very trusty, I believe people. But if you give me a reason to doubt you by lying, or if I catch you that you've lied about something, then I begin to doubt you. Now you need to prove yourself. That is how I am personally. All right? Jealousy, insane jealousy. Some women think that when your partner is jealous is a good thing. No. There's jealousy that is dangerous, harmful, very, very harmful. And this comes from sometimes maybe painful past experiences. The person is hurt. Some people are broken. They have pain. They've not dealt with the pain of their previous relationships and they are marrying somebody else. They are jumping into a relationship. So now you go pay for everything when that other person do. You want to now you go suffer for everything when that other person do to them. And some of our agenda too are on this table. When a woman has been hurt terribly and she's not dealt with that pain and forgiving and let go of that negative emotion, any man that comes into her life will pay. Anything you do now, they will start using the yardstick of what the other person did to them, their exes did to them to judge you. And such relationship never work because you see yourself as paying a fine for a crime you didn't commit. So yeah, people need to heal. People need to heal. There's a lot of broken people. Too many broken people in our community, guys. Yeah, lack of trust is serious. Both gender. It's nerve-wracking. Always trying to reassure somebody to trust you when you've not given them any reason to doubt you. You've not done anything, but they're just in their mind. Everything is in their mind. I had a lady saying to me 2 days ago that she's really disturbing me now in my DM. She did not allow me to rest. This one, her own partner did saute and I said that she's doing lesbianism because she found somebody that much older woman who had mercy on her because she was suffering so much, adopted and started, giving her money to sustain her. The husband said that she said it's lesbianism she's doing with that old mama. The woman doesn't even live in the country. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, that's insecurity. Is a very serious thing. Nerve-wracking. So I'm just going to run through the dangers of insecurities in relationship because we are talking about insecurity while we're talking about this pretty girl who is gone now to be with the Lord, leaving 3 young children on earth here. Father is going to probably spend the rest of his life in jail. I wish it was America. America hands out very, very hefty, sentences. I would have been much happier. I don't know about Canada and how they sentence or down like this. But hopefully he's going to get life, and life means life. I'm sharing my link, guys. So, some of the danger of insecure people is the relationship is not going to be peaceful because you're going to have constant quarreling and scrambling and, going back and forth. It's just going to be too much wahala. When Nigerians say wahala, this is a more serious wahala. Because every day, everything is a discussion. There's always something, there's always an argument. I mean, Every relationship has some level of disagreement or argument or fight occasionally, but if it becomes something that is on a regular basis, it's a toxic relationship. Yeah, it's very, very toxic. Anxiety. You now start having anxiety. Oh my God, I'm coming home now. I don't know what is going to be today now. What did they say I do again now? What have I done now? Then you start putting yourself under pressure. It's a disease, rheology, my sister. You're quite right. You start having serious anxiety, high blood pressure, low body. Before you know, hypertension, low body. You won't sleep well. Your sleep will just be breaking. And if you don't sleep well, how that is going to impact on your day. I don't know about you guys, but if I don't have a good sleep, don't come near me. I'll be snapping at everybody. Yeah. Start having anxiety. And the person who is insecure is always trying to prove something that doesn't even exist in most cases. Like this Mongo Park now. They were already separated. She left him. So you see now that the ex-wife that left dodged something very serious. God delivered her. I'm sure she will go to church and give thanks now that thank you, Lord, for delivering me from such a dangerous person. It could have been her. Hmm. It could have been her. Yeah, I think someone is saying something here. Customer service saying, always force me to confess I was trying his progress and he will record and share as proof. Okay, I don't think I understand that. Maybe you said something before. That does not. Yeah, insecurity is very okay. This is the first part. Okay, you said my ex-fiance was this kind of Mongo Park. I always had to turn on video whenever he requested, where even at night during sleep, to show under my bed and closet. Always had to swear for truth. Lobaton. You have to swear. Did you do something that made him not to trust you? For him to do video to say you should show closets, including closets. You have to show your wardrobe. That there's nobody hiding there. That's a serious case of insecurity. Except you've done something. Even if you've done something, I think people should just work out the issues. Nobody can live under such scrutiny 24 hours. Trying to prove that there's nobody in my bed, there's nobody in the closet, I'm not talking to anybody, trying to force me to confess. It's too much. You will break. You will break. Yeah, you will break. So, I'm just going to say that if somebody has been married before, I don't know what happened in his first marriage, and I'm not even going to, make any assumptions about it. But brethren, if somebody has been married before, find a way to find out from a neutral person what happened in this auntie's first marriage or second marriage or last marriage. What happened in this uncle's last marriage? What happened to between them and not from them, because if you ask them, they will only see it from their own perspective. Remember one lady that came here a while ago? She's not talking to me now. In fact, I think she hates my guts now. My guts now. She came here and told us how she went to Nigeria to marry a man and brought him to the US, and the man used her for a green card and dumped her. And the man is a pastor, right? You guys remember that story? 24 hours later, the ex-husband contacted us and gave us his own version of how she too used him to come to America and everything he went through in her hands. So when we now shared the story of the ex-husband, she was not angry. She said, I must take the video down and say for where I'm not taking nothing down. He spoke his own truth. Why do you want me to take it down? And she was very angry. She didn't like it. I said, but when you came, we listened to you with empathy. We were very, very unhappy with what the Mongo Park you married did to you, the one you brought to the US. But you didn't tell us that it was somebody else that brought you to. That it was Kama that was visiting you. That is what you did to somebody else that is being done to you. You see life? It's good to do good though, because you know what? Karma is real. I believe it. Whether you believe it or not, it works. It will visit you when you least expect. Get information. Ask people. Don't ask his friends, oh. Don't ask her friends, oh. Don't ask his family. Do not ask his family or her family. Ask people who know them from afar. Find out what happened between them and their exes. You need to know. If it's possible, contact the ex. Most people on social media these days, send them a DM. Be very nice in your DM and say, I'm so sorry, uncle. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to disturb you. I know, I should probably not be contacting you, but I really need to know. Am I entering into fire? Please. What happened in your marriage? And then you will see what the person will say. Okay? What the person or somebody who knows about the situation, a neutral person will say, is what will inform whatever decision you are going to make. If she knew, my thinking is that if Giselle knew what happened in that relation, in his first marriage, she'll probably not have married him. But then again, this is Africa. She's coming from Africa. Who will a man from Cameroon who lives in Canada come to Cameroon and say, I want to marry you, and they will say no? Most girls in Africa, they are looking for opportunities because there are so many brilliant, educated women in Africa, but the countries where they live, the politics and everything, there's been war going on in Cameroon for so many years. Nobody even talks about it. They are looking for opportunity to get out. Everybody wants to jackpot. That's why I tend to be very, very, when I see imported wives, I tend to be more understanding. I don't judge them too harshly. Because I know that it's a human thing. Everybody's looking for survivor. Everybody's looking for greener pastures. So don't blame somebody who says yes to live where they are when there are greener pastures across the seas. They want to go abroad. It's a legitimate thing because they see it as an opportunity to improve themselves. So now what's happened with this? So that is the story from Canada, unfortunately. And all my Cameroonian Obodo fam in the house, I've shared my link. If you want to join us and say one or two things that you know about this or lessons generally for Obodo fam to learn, we got 903 people watching. Please use the link in the comment section and come into the studio. Thank you all so much for being here. Give this a thumbs up. Sister Rita, how are you?
It's a very good evening. It's a very good evening.
Welcome.
Thank you. Long time.
Achowe Saloto.
Shame they catch me.
Yes, how you
But I
dey?
no go shame. I no go shame. I did. No worry. Get waiting at the try run some things. Where we say if you use and you no go block am again. You no go block. Sabi no vex. Before I talk, I want that hair, number one. Next I know this social media. But that hair I want that. When I through post too. I don't know how we take do am. Mm-hmm. And that one I want by first.
I hear.
Abi, how
Okay,
family
I
dey?
don't hear. We
May God
dey.
continue to give you the grace and wisdom on how to handle issues. I thank God for your
Amen.
friends and for your family and for your husband and everyone. Thank God for keeping everyone till this day. God will continue to strengthen you all the days of your life.
Amen.
God no go shame us.
Amen.
So this matter again, you don't say, oh, yeah, this kind of matter. But there's something
Mm-hmm.
I want to say. You almost said everything, but no matter how desperate anyone is, at least there's another way you can do these things. I know we like this, we've made such mistakes by going to the church, say church is the best place. It's not. There are Mongo paths
Yeah.
everywhere in the world, both church, both street, both everywhere. The only mistake we
Mm-hmm.
make in life is we don't pray for our right partner. When you marry your enemy is the greatest thing on earth to do. It's the worst thing. The worst thing any human being should do on earth is to marry your enemy. So please, I know this our platform is a worldwide platform. If you have friends, you have sisters, you have relatives, please share videos with them. Tell them what is happening in the world. You don't just follow a man because you want to go. You want to go there. You want to go to this country. You want to go there. You don't know who he is. You don't know what he does. Just like one other video Sister B did some times ago, that some we stay here and they are keeping bills upon bills for you to come and help them to pay. By the time you arrive and you are not meeting up, you become the devil. You become the bad person. So please, see this young girl now. We don't work just like that. She's gone. For no reason. Please, oh, we should help ourselves. I beg. It's better to be single than entering this kind of situation. Please. There's nothing like husband out there in heaven. No husband there. No wife there. If you don't buy, you don't buy. If you don't delete, you don't delete. There's no how you can come back to the second time again to say you want to come and correct whatever mistake you've done. Please, let's help ourselves out there. Send message to your sisters. Be sharing these videos so that it can go far away. Let people know what is happening. Please. It's so bad. So bad. So bad. We don't want to be hearing this kind of news again, please. People should help one another. Let's help friends. Let's help the neighbors around the streets. Help people. So that you can save a life with this video. You can save one or two people with this video. Please. I beg.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarita. I appreciate your contribution, my sister. You do well.
Just
we don't want to hear them. That's why we learn the lesson.
We don't hear them for a long time.
We never hear them. You know, the what I find out is that a lot of people in Africa can't watch YouTube because of data. Because this internet not too cheap like that for yonder. You understand? So my children don't try to tell me to enter TikTok. I say I beg, I not fit. My life is so busy. Which time I get to go to do TikTok again? But it be like say I go consider now so that I feel do that 1 minute. 1 minute video.
That's what
because
I want.
If you watch those ones, 1 minute videos.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Just 1 minute. You just stop something. That one, if they download and if you share them for WhatsApp,
Yeah. Make I tell you something now. I'd always tell you, say this your platform is a therapy. That's what I tell you. People might not understand. No, me, I gain a lot in this platform. It has really given me. In short, I'm a different person as I am today. You understand? I cannot even let a man come to do nonsense. You know when they see you like this, they want to be coming around. I said no, I don't want it because I'm taking my time now. I don't want to make the first mistake I've made before. I want to take my time. If it's prayer, let me pray. I said the people that are meeting the right people, how many heads do they have? If there is a man to pray, there's a God to answer. So if you are doing the prayer, you are still doing even to go say, because when the person is out there, you cannot even find out anything from where the person is. The only other solution is for you to kneel down and pray. You can get it through revelation. As I am like this, more than 3 people have come to me. I prayed and I saw it in my dreams. And I kicked them out. I don't want to make the mistake I've made before. So Sister B, this platform is a calling. It's not just you. You're not the owner of it. So whatever thing that God has led you to do, if it is TikTok or anyhow I want to do and to send the message across, you see this calling. They say some are called politicians, some are called pastors, some are called helpers. You are to help people, to take people out of darkness and bring them to light. Anyone that don't want to understand it should leave. Please. Sister B, God will continue to give you wisdom. God will
appreciate you, my sister. We'll talk later. I appreciate you. Okay. So short videos. We are going to start doing some short videos that people in Africa, because this message is mostly for people in Africa. Unfortunately, they're not going to watch them. Asking for a friend, your internet connection is not connected properly. You are next, but I can't add you. So let me add Evelyn. Hi, Evelyn. You're welcome. Are you from Cameroon?
Yes, Sister Bree, how are you, my dear?
I'm good, thank you. Good evening, good afternoon. Where are you joining us from?
I'm joining you from the US, Virginia.
You're welcome. What do you have to say?
Okay. First of all, thank you for really airing out this show, sensitizing people. This particular topic and the particular person it touches me a lot because I'm a Cameroonian, and recently we have been making big news in this negative side.
Yes.
This is a
Yes,
very small country.
unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, Cameroon is a very small country.
Mm.
We're not up to 26 million. That means we are not even up to Lagos in Nigeria. And
And yet, all this is happening.
And all kind of things is happening in my country lately that I don't understand what is going on. We are not learning from
Mhm.
the good side. We are learning the bad things, copying the bad things. That's what I can say. So this guy, this Osea, we call him Osea in Facebook.
Mhm.
Actually, my schoolmate, my secondary schoolmate, were in the same class in secondary.
Okay.
Osea in school. Let me just take us back to the 19. We did 1989 to 93. Yeah. All those years when we were in secondary school, I was not very used to him. I was not close. Well, it's a boarding school though. I was not close to him, but I knew him, like just knowing another student in school. He was a
Yeah.
very quiet person in class. So he was not that kind of boys in class that would be noisemakers that the whole class will know them. He was very quiet.
It wasn't popular.
He
Yeah.
was popular. So
Okay.
I wake up, was it Friday? I wake up in my with my I heard on Thursday that the Cameroonian, I think Thursday that the Cameroonian had killed his wife in Canada. I say, oh my God, not again. So I just heard the news and I brushed it. I was like, not again, and I went my way because that one I was even mourning another Cameroonian girl that shot her boss and her apartment manager in the US here just on Monday.
Yes, I saw that one. Someone sent it to me. Yes, that one. Someone sent it to me. I wanted me to talk about it. Actually, it's a very, very important story to talk
Yeah,
about. That
that's
story. I
because
followed it. I watched all the YouTube videos about that girl. Yeah,
I
that girl, she broke mentally. Something
met
happened to
her,
her mentally.
cannot come to this country and
She was a whistleblower. She was a
be
whistleblower in her
in
company,
her
and
company.
they didn't take her seriously. Yeah.
Then she took the loss into her hands because what actually she was saying from the story I believe,
Yes.
but nobody wanted to listen to her, so she just said, okay, whatever happened happens, and that's what she went and did. So I know this girl's family too, so I was like so broken for her own. So when they said this other one that this guy killed the wife in Canada, Cameroonian, I didn't bother too much about that because I was still listening to this girl. She was going through her preliminary inquiries. The first her bail, it was a bail interview with the court, which she did wrong and they didn't grant her the bail. So I was serious watching that one, not knowing that it's a classmate of mine that has killed the wife too in Canada, deleted the wife too in Canada. So I wake up on the next day morning. I
We
saw,
use delete, oh, Evelyn.
yes, delete. I went,
Evelyn, we use delete because of YouTube, the
I,
language.
I
Mm.
got it. So I got up the next morning. I saw like 700 messages in my school WhatsApp group, my ex-student WhatsApp group. I was like, what is going on here? So as I went there, I started seeing pictures of this guy. I started our school group pictures. I started seeing a lot of stuff. I'm like, what is? I said, oh my God. When I started reading them, I said, this is the guy. His face made. When I saw the picture, I said, hey, but this is my classmate. My schoolmate. What happened? So when I started, I said, oh my God. So this is the case that they told us in Canada that somebody deleted the wife. Is him? Oh my God. So this guy, I don't know if he's really 50 years that they're saying. We have a lot of ages that we come here with, but he will be like between 45 to,
Yes, football age. Football
yes,
age. That's what we
yes,
call it in Nigeria.
yes. So he got married to one Cameroonian lady, the first wife. They had a lot of domestic
Yeah.
abuse. The girl had to pack, divorce him, and even leave the city, the state that they were staying there, and go to another state and stay her quiet. That girl does not communicate with. She don't even have anything to do with this guy again.
Hmm.
So this guy was like, "Oh, I'm going to get a prettier, younger wife."
Smart girl. She says,
Yeah. So he was bluffing that he's going to
you will
get
see.
a prettier and younger wife, which actually he got. You got a prettier and younger wife. Why don't you take care of her then? So he came. I think the first insecurity was this bumping the babies with her, thinking that if they have the babies, the girl is not going to leave him. This girl kept on having babies back to back. You don't even have money. You are not well stable. The girl was
Yes.
not, like financially we all live in abroad, so we know that when people are financially stable, we know he was not that financially stable. So this guy had to go work even with
Yeah.
the with the multiple pregnancies. She was going to work. You will go
I'm
to shop.
shocked that she could walk.
I'm telling
Three
you,
babies in 5 years
but
and she can walk.
you will go
Hmm.
to shop. You don't when she's not on seat. You will start asking where did she go to? Even if she went to the toilet, it's problem. You are not supposed to be all that kind of issues. This girl went to. She called the police once when he beat her when she was pregnant with this their last baby. He had been abusing her. But she was taking it in. I think maybe they were advising her to take it easy on him because she was not calling the police until when she was pregnant for the third baby that the abuse got worse. So she called the police and they gave the guy, they just told him not to touch her, but they were still living together. So the second time she called the police, they actually went to court. They told her to leave the house. She said, yes, she has a friend that is willing to take her in. They said, leave the house. Then they gave the guy a restraining order. They were not yet divorced. The guy, they assigned them to a reverend pastor that is attached to the court to work out their marital issues. So if you even listen to the Canadian police reporting, she said they did not do much for the girl because this is a man that had a history. The first wife called police on him like 3 times before they finally divorced. Why will you allow this one to call the police and then you say you want to try and reconcile them? So the pastor that they were saying, the pastor was trying to bring them together to make them not to separate. So this girl she had a baby. The baby was just a few months, I think not even up to 3 months, I guess. She was living with this her friend. You, with your insecurity, you started looking for her. He didn't know where the girl was until the day he finally saw the girl. He communicated. He quit the WhatsApp group. He was there with us. He left the group like about 2 months ago. I think that was when things started getting hard on him. He deleted his Facebook account, then left the group. So the only close friend that he was in our group that was communicating with him, he spoke with him, I think 3 weeks ago. The guy said he was having some issues with the wife. These women, this is his statement. These women, bring them abroad. They want to show you that they can survive. They can get they can put this you aside and get another man and then take money from the government. That was his word to this my schoolmate.
These women, when you bring them abroad, they think they can dish you aside and get money from the government.
Yes. So the guy said, "Oh, take it easy. That your wife is so young and pretty. Just take it easy." He said, "Oh, I'm going to deal with her. I'm going to deal with her. She's not going to get my money. She's not going to get." So he just said that. That's why the guy communicated in the group when this incident happened. So in
So
our
when
group,
he said he wants to deal with her, your classmate didn't think he was going to go this far. He didn't do anything.
he too is in Cameroon, so he did not even know that
Oh, he's in Cameroon. Okay, what can he do?
what can he do? And then in the same thing in our WhatsApp group, they were talking now about his character. That's when I got to really know more of him. They even said that one time he had a problem with a guy in the classroom. They went back to the dormitory. He took a machete and chased that guy around the dormitory.
So he's been psycho for a very long time
He
then. His
yeah,
madness did not just start.
yes, he's a very quiet person, very reserved. They say he talks a lot about God. That's all he things that he will talk about. But his anger is out of when he gets angry, is out of the world. He would like break things. That's what. So his older brother in Cameroon, when we were talking on the WhatsApp group, one of the friends, one of our mates called the brother. The brother confirmed, and the brother said he don't know where he is. That he has been trying to solve the problem between him and the wife. That girl is very quiet and is a very nice girl. That he's the one that actually got the girl, connected him to the girl when he called him and told him that his marriage is over with the other girl. He should get.
Yeah.
He connected him to the girl, so he's so disappointed because now he deleted the girl and he feels like guilty. So I really feel sad because this is a
Does she
situation.
have any family in Canada,
She don't have
Giselle?
she don't have a family in Canada. She has a friend that
So what's going to happen to the children now?
have no idea. Like no idea.
3 children.
And a young one that is a baby. A baby.
Hey, oh my show.
All of them are even babies because the first one is 5. All of them are,
Hey,
I'm telling
what's
you.
your WhatsApp group doing about it? Your school WhatsApp group, the ones in Canada. What are you guys doing about it?
Since the day they're only trying to over talk only about his character, I'm going to ask them if we can do something like maybe contribute and send money to the parents back home. I think we should do something like that, but nobody.
Yeah, you guys should please do something. It's not just talking. Talk is good, but action is better. You can take the lead in that, my sister Evelyn.
Yeah, I'm going to
Please.
bring it down because those are our kids.
Yeah, those children, you need to. I mean, I don't know. Canada is such a massive country in terms of your land mass and all that. I don't know if you are close to where they are, but please get involved and find out, and whatever you can do,
I
every
have
little helps.
that are in the group. The person that actually announces in Canada, she's my friend that we talk on daily basis.
Is she in Canada as well?
She's in Canada, yeah. She's the one that
And then you people are in Canada now. You should be able to put your hands together and whatever you can do because of those 3 innocent children. Because he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail now, and those 3 innocent children are there. And just imagine the trauma they are going to grow up with. Who is going to explain to them what happened to their mom?
brought her to the apartment that she was staying in. When she was taking the children in her car for school, that's when he came out. Since she moved from her own house, so the children were not in the jurisdiction again to take the school bus. So
Yeah.
she had to drop them. So she was putting the seat belt. That's what she was doing. She was putting the children in the car seat. And
When
then
he came.
from her back and started stabbing her right in front of those kids. That parking lot in her car until she died. She went unconscious. They called the cops. He ran away. Then they took her to the hospital. She died in the hospital. So
Mashio. Thank you so much, Evelyn.
man will have that heart to
Yeah.
take a knife and stab another one like that. That is a heart that I don't know whether God gave us or who gave us that kind of heart.
And that is somebody that is quoting. You always wonder what part of the Bible do they read?
I know.
I mean, this is somebody that is always quoting Bible, God, God, God. But don't you read about when God says that, talks about love, forgiveness?
I know. Even delete chicken, I cannot do.
It was intentional. You know what you said about how you told your classmate that, oh, these women, they think you can bring them from Africa and they will come and take the children and claim money.
Yeah.
This was premeditated in law. This is what they call premeditated. He planned it and he executed it.
Because
It's a pity. I just feel so
with his
sorry
story,
for, look at her, so young. Hi.
look at her. Beautiful
Oh my God.
daughter.
Mm-mm.
I feel so bad.
Wow. May God give us the wisdom to be able to manage relationships in Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you, my sister.
You're
Really
welcome.
appreciate your contribution. Please don't just look away. Oh, you remember what the Bible says. This is the time, but that's what Yoruba says. It's during trials that you know who your true friend is. Don't look away. Make a phone call. Where are the children? Who is looking after them? What can your group do? Even if the ones in Africa cannot contribute money, you that are in Canada, you can do something. It's not only money alone, you can visit. I always believe in action because love is an action word. And if you want to express love, the best way to do it is to do something. Thank you so much, Evelyn. Habisoye, you are next. Then I will come to Uncle Ade. How are you? Unmute yourself, sweetie. Long time no see.
Oh, Auntie B, longest time. I've missed you so much.
I miss you too. This is your voice. So I'm ready for a while. Where have you been? Did you go to Nigeria?
I've been so busy with my dissertation. So that's
Yeah.
why. And work and everything. I've missed you, but I usually go back to watch your videos.
All right. Thank you.
Nice to talk to you. Auntie B, I think this case is kind of sad. I don't know. It's kind of sad.
It's not kind of. It's absolutely sad.
It is absolutely sad. Absolutely. And my mom used to say something that if the man good, you know, go see him for ground. And what she meant is that if this Mongo Park, if he was a very good person, he would get a wife in Canada. He will not come down to Africa. there is so many people, so many young and single women in Canada that he can actually pick as a wife. And before an African can divorce her husband, Auntie B, her eye don't see pepper. Her eye don't see pepper. Because African women, we rarely leave our marriage. We usually give our all. We usually give our all. Even in the face of DV, in the face of everything, we will still feel maybe this thing, we can still salvage it. We can still,
Yeah.
because we don't like being a divorcee. So before
Yeah.
you see a woman walk out of a marriage, it's a very, very serious something. So I think the lady, that this young lady that was deleted, she should have asked question like you said. Try and ask question, what happened, the first wife. You can even just look for her name on, maybe on Facebook or somewhere. Try and just message her, hello, please, I know this is, I shouldn't message you this way, but please, I would like to, you understand? And God so willing, God can touch the woman at and tell her that, oh, don't do this, don't do that. She would have gotten herself involved with this kind of Mongo pack, because this lady is so young, she's so
She is. Look at her
beautiful.
now. She's a baby now. Look at her.
My
20, 29 years old.
oh my God, she's
Now,
so
her mates are still
pretty.
looking for relationships. So they've not seen better relationship talk of. And
Ah,
she has 3 children already at 29.
and Auntie, do you know why the man was pumping her, giving her pregnancy back to back? You know, in Canada, if you give birth, they pay the children. Per
Mm,
children, they pay them.
mm.
So he knows that if that lady is being given sole custody of those children, that money will be going to her.
That's what he
That
told. That's what Evelyn. Evelyn is Cameroonian now and knows.
uh-huh.
Evelyn is the classmate. He knows this guy. Like they properly went to secondary school together.
Uh-huh.
So he
If
knows. This is what he told another of their classmates. Pay, I brought you from Cameroon. Now you want to come and prove that you know Ofi. I will show
if
you.
I'm telling you, and Auntie, the how will I put it, the people that as in the people I really feel sorry for is the children. It's
Hmm.
just the children,
It is in
because
their present.
ah
Abisoye. Just imagine the trauma.
oh
And that is why
oh
we see, you see a lot of our a lot of children, even in our generation, older generation, they saw so much. They've I don't even know the Igbo to use to
they've
qualify
seen
it
so
now.
many things that they shouldn't even have
They've
seen.
digested so much trauma and internalized it.
Ah,
Now it's manifesting in behavior.
oh my Auntie B, you know, I work as a support worker. Some children that in our placement, we had a girl, she usually self-harm. So when we went, like I read like a care plan, we realized that our mom was deleted in her presence by her dad. So
Mhm.
she usually self-harm. Sometimes she will cut herself. So many times we've called the ambulance. And Auntie B, self-harm, there's no how the time will come, we won't be able to save her. So maybe at that young age, what she saw, it has been ingrained in her brain for life. She's destroyed. You
It will take
understand?
the grace of
Mentally,
God.
exactly. To
Mm.
take the grace of God. So please, I don't know. Although it's good, greener pasture and everything, but the grass is not always greener on the other side. It's not always greener.
I think I'm
There,
going to enter. Yeah,
there
I'm
is
definitely going to TikTok. I will
please,
try.
Auntie B, please do, because there are so many people on TikTok, and so many young people, they are on TikTok, so they can realize and maybe not go into like this kind of mistake. I just feel so sorry for the children, and I pray that God will rest the lady's soul. I pray God rest her soul, and I pray that justice, the man, I pray that full justice, because Canada, they are very flexible when it comes to their law. They are not like US. Of his US now, I know this one is gone. But Canada, but I just pray God that people will be able to learn one or two lessons from this. And please, our young people, abroad is not the road to heaven. It's not the road to
Mhm. They don't
heaven.
know that.
It's
They
not
don't
the
know that. We are talking about Africa.
it's not the road to heaven. We have people that are making money in Africa. We have millionaires in Africa now. We have people that are doing well. Shebi is there abroad that we are now, Auntie B. Abroad is just how will I put it? It's like a facade. It's just the place, just the lights, the social amenities. To even to gather money in abroad is very hard. Very, very hard. It's very, very, especially UK, it's very hard. So please, abroad is not the end of the life. Please, whoever you want to go and get married to, try and do your background check. Try and do your background check before you move and go to a foreign land. with an unknown person. That is just all I
Thank
have to
you.
say, Auntie B. I love you so much, Auntie B.
Thank you,
So much.
Abisaye. Love you too, sweetheart. All the best. I'm looking forward to seeing you back full time when you finish. All the
I
best.
will. I will. I will.
All right,
Bye.
sweetie. Bye. Okay, we've got Uncle Ade in the building. Good evening, Uncle Ade. Unmute yourself, sir.
Hello, Sister B. How are you?
Hi. Hi, Uncle Ade. How are you?
I tell you, your show has make me. I'm not gonna say I'm addicted, but I love it. I'm sorry
we
to
are
say it.
we are pleased to have you, sir. We are so
When you
happy to have
post,
you.
anytime you post your subject or your topic that to come and I go about it, I say, listen, I can't miss this show because my sister always have a good show. Thank you so much for what you're doing and good to be on the platform to all over the family. It's a pleasure being on your platform again.
Thank
And
you, sir.
yes,
Welcome.
I mean, I just want to say something briefly about this. And a lot of people have said what is more important is that men, we don't handle our emotional the way that we're supposed to do. And that's what is leading to, especially the Africans. We the cultures has allowed us to pretend that we don't have emotion and that we bury it. Because for
Mm-hmm.
you as a man
Mm-hmm.
expressing your emotion in our culture is kind of like you are weak. It's kind of a weakness. So therefore, a lot of men have grown up with that anger and resentment
Mm-hmm.
within them. So to the point that they exhibit that onto their spouse or the other person. Because what actually happened here is this man already has forced there is forced relationship. He broke up with that. What come out of it, we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
he went and get this another woman. And the fact that what I learned here during a lot of study on my own is that in any broke up relationship, you have to heal yourself before the next one.
Amen.
Because if you don't heal yourself before the next one, that you're gonna keep on doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And especially men, we do not sit back and see and look ourselves in the mirror and see exactly what is wrong for us to change, for us to follow the right path before we go into the next
Let me
relationship.
ask you this, Uncle Ade. We
Yes,
really appreciate and value your opinion, your voice on this platform, because you are not just talking. You are talking from a place of experience, and you're telling us because you are living the life. Being married for almost 30 years with your beautiful wife. Now, I want to ask you: do you think, in your opinion, as a man, that it is very difficult for a lot of African men to change compared to women who are always trying to look at, okay, what can I do? What do we go to seminars, we go to churches, we read books, we try to do different things because we love relationship. Why is it so difficult for our African brothers to change and unlearn negative behaviors?
the answer to that, my sister, is that African men don't want to evolve. African men want to sit comfortably within that ramification of culture that give them the ego, manipulation, and power. They don't want to relent that. They don't want to let it go. That is the excess of it. Because you have to see in this Western world, a lot of things that women have more power here compared to where we
Yes,
come from.
yes, absolutely. That's right.
Yes, they have more power here compared to where we come from.
Mm-hmm.
Here, you can tell you can't say you can't tell your wife sit down there, don't do that, don't do that. She would if she called the attention of the authority on you, you're in trouble. But
Mm-hmm.
over there, every family will come to you, and guess what? And that's what for me as a man. When I left that country, when I left Nigeria at the age of 25, even though I've going to universities, I've ingrained in my brain that I'm coming to a different world and I have to change in order for my own generation to change. Because I am the vehicle of change. Because if I don't change, there's no way my children will change, Sister B.
Hmm.
This is what
Hmm.
I'm telling you. If
Hmm.
I don't change, there's no way my children will change.
Hmm.
So that is it. But a lot of folks we sit in that, especially men, We sit
Hmm.
in that because you made mention of something
my
the other
my
day.
father was like this. This is how my
Yes,
father was. Why should I be different? But your
exactly.
father didn't live in America. Your father didn't live in Canada. Your father lived in the 60s and in the 50s. The world has evolved. The world has
The
changed.
world has changed. Sister B, look for instance. You can ask a lot of my people. Ask them how many of them gone to Broadway show. How many of them have gone to movie? My own brother has not even told me he has ever been to a Broadway show. And sometimes that's what it is. We and Nigerians don't know, or Africans don't know. Sister B, when you go to a certain section of life, they are funny, they hilarious. Do you know that I found out in a study that you laughing is a therapy.
Hmm.
Laughing out is a therapy. It releases certain tension in you. But
Hmm.
we Nigerians we don't do it. Ask Nigeria. All we do is walk, walk, walk. At the end of the day, we draw and
Hmm.
gone. And all we
Hmm.
go back, you say we go back to Nigeria. And then the thing is that how do you change? How do you
Then again, I mean, as much as we want to, emphasize that people should integrate and imbibe some of the, aspect of the cultures where we live in now. Again, the black tax is waiting. They have a lot
yes,
of responsibility. People
yes,
are calling from home. They need to send money, so
that's
they've
the
got to
point.
work.
But
People
that's
have to
what I'm
work
saying, Sister B.
because you're not just working for yourself. Oh, Uncle Ade, you need to see the story that we're going to do tomorrow. Is the one that it will break your heart.
Because, Sister B, you know what? We attach so much to a thing that is not relevant to us, especially we in diaspora. Because I tell you what, I cut that out. And I tell you all from the fact that this is not revelation, it's a fact. I went home last year to do my father burial. Sister B, I have to carry almost everything. Why? But guess what? I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson. And that's the point. Because it is time for us to stay in the position to say, because we Africans don't know how to say no. Sister B, that's our problem. We do not know how to say no. We end up sacrificing ourselves and our family.
Oh
Do you know
yes,
how many
that's the
families
word.
that are broken up because of
That's the word. Uncle Ade, that is the word. She said, I sacrificed myself.
that's it?
Do you know how many young girls from Edo State, that's my state, that have sacrificed their lives? And I'm talking about prostitution because of
Yes,
family.
yes.
And the
Because of
lady,
family pressure.
and the lady is like,
They have
and
to
she's
support
like,
them.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, I want to
You have
support
to
my
support them.
family. I want to support this. I want to do this. I want to do this. And now she's broken because after so many years of everything, because you were talking about how get getting back to the point about this story now, why people don't participate or engage in things that people in this part of the world do. Sometimes it's not even because they don't want to. They cannot afford to
Yeah,
because
yeah.
of responsibility.
Yes, and that's the thing. And then because of that, that's why a lot of us too, because like I can tell you, how many, especially we Nigerians, how many of us in diaspora, we have a community that we can run to, Sister B. We have a big community that we can engage each other. We can say, look, for me right now, I just told my wife, I said, the day that you retire, you know what I'm going to do? But which I'm going to publish, I'm going to say, I want few Nigerians who are retired. Let's rent a RV, that's recreation vehicle. I want us to start from the north of America to the south of America to the east and west of America. Let us take a tour. Let's take a tour. Am I going to see
Yeah,
anybody joining me?
you're going to be in that vehicle by yourself, you and your wife,
Thank
Uncle
you.
Ade.
Thank you. So that's what I'm talking about. How many
Kowo
of
pe,
us have
kowo
taken?
pe ni.
Yes. Okay, like this lady now. Look at what happened to her. Because she lived within the community, and this was she's just deleted for nothing. And the point that I'm taking about is the future, the children of that lady, my sister. This is my concern. How are they going to feel? How are they going to look for them experiencing that I'll say the word barbaric action that man has exhibited in front of them. They've witnessed it. They may not capture the magnitude of what happened, maybe because of their age. I don't know how old they are. You
No,
understand
they
me?
will remember. They are five to
So,
like maybe a few months.
You know why I say that the magnitude of it, because I deal with children. There's certain level of the age. Children we kind of like forget. They may not remember because but some we know that it will affect their behavior.
Oh yeah,
You get my
definitely.
point? But certain
Hmm.
age they will remember that will affect their behavior, because I deal with children. I've worked with what we call it children in crisis. They come from what they call dysfunctional family.
Dysfunctional. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so
Dysfunctional
that's what I'm
families.
talking
Yeah.
about. That these children, because of their age, even though what they've experienced or what they witnessed, it may not catapult for them,
Mm.
affecting their mental, their psychological, and this thing growing up. They may forget about it. The only thing is that another thing is that what type of environment are they going to be growing? Because now they're going to end up with adopted family. That's it.
Hmm. Hmm.
They're going to be with that three of them is going to be yeah, they're going to be
Hi.
either they go back to
Their
their
main
grandma.
attachment figure is gone.
He's gone. Their father is
Hmm.
gone too. He's the lead. I'm sorry, he's
Oh yeah,
incapable of
he's
anything.
gone. No, he's gone. He's gone.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
gone.
he's incapable of
I don't
anything.
think, I mean, Uncle Ade, this is what I usually think when people go to delete other people. I'm thinking, what do you think is going to happen to you when you've done it? Do you think that you're still going to have your life? But because they are so consumed by rage
Yes, that's the
and
right
the
word.
feeling of, I've
That
been
have done
wronged.
it. That yes,
Yes,
that's the
I've
rage.
been
They
wronged.
don't
I
know.
need to
Yeah,
correct
they
this.
know
I
the
need to correct
consequences
this
may
wrong.
come.
She did me wrong. He did me wrong. I need to correct it. Then they
Yes,
are consumed by
and
rage.
somebody posted it earlier. Mark the word she said. Men are afraid of rejection.
Rejection. Yeah.
Rejection, like you say, is another thing that a lot of men can't stand. If I don't have her, nobody else
Nobody
will.
can.
That's it. Case closed. Case
Hmm.
closed. And that's why you find that a lot of time this happened. DV happened a lot. And you find that DV happened a lot. When you look at the
Thank
statistic,
you, sir.
how many
Thank you.
women doing that exactly what the men are doing to the women? It's not true. It's not balanced. So that's the key word. So we thank you so much for this topic, and I thank you for
Thank you,
inviting me.
Uncle.
It's always a pleasure. I enjoy you so much for your topic,
I
because
think
we
you will
have to.
enjoy our topic tomorrow, Uncle Ade. We are talking about black tax tomorrow. And this
Okay.
one is particularly very interesting because you know how when we Christians talk about God, Jesus laying down his life for us, some Africans actually laid down their life for their families, and
Yes.
that's what we're talking about
Yes,
tomorrow.
sister, I understand that.
Unfortunately, they don't get the glory. Jesus got the glory, but they don't
Yeah,
get no glory.
sister,
They shame them, they condemn them, they throw
I
them in the
experienced that,
dustbin.
sister. Before I go, I experienced that when I first came here. All I'm thinking about
Mm.
is I've been here 10 years. I didn't buy a car. I didn't bring a new distance to them in Nigeria. I didn't build a house. They started questioning me, what are you doing? I'm paying for my college for my family here. They never ask me, how are you surviving?
No,
Okay.
no.
They
You
never
are
ask
okay.
me.
As far as anybody in Africa is concerned, once you
That's
come
it.
abroad, the minute you land, JFK,
Something
Heathrow,
like
wherever you are landing, you are rich already.
yeah, they believe like you are the guy, you are already reached the land of gold, and you're just walking on the
When you
street.
talk
People
about
don't believe it.
immigration issues, the average
Yeah,
person in
no, they
Africa
don't.
does not understand.
No, they don't. It's not of their
When
cup
you
of
talk
tea.
about the bills, the struggle, so
Yes,
you talk about racism, they don't even understand it.
they don't. Because when you buy, that's what I was telling a lot of people, that people don't understand that when you buy a house here, you buy what we call American. I don't know how you guys do in your neck of the wood in London. It's a 30 years mortgage.
Mortgage, yeah.
30 years. Tell me, you're
Hmm.
paying somebody for 30 years. And Sister B, and this is what at time we need to talk about. Tax is a system for them to build their economy. That's what people don't know. We in Nigeria, we build a house, we buy nobody. Because you know what, Sister B? The bank that loan you the money, the loan officer is there, is making a living. Somebody is there, is making. You see how the economy works? They provide job.
They set it up that way.
They set it up
That
that
is the way.
thank you,
That
sister.
is the
They
way they
set
set
it
up the
up that way
economy.
so that
Yeah,
the economy goes around the job. But when you build your house in Africa, you finish, you done.
yeah,
No bank,
yeah,
nothing. Nobody. So, but
yeah,
here they build the system so that the
yeah,
economy can circulate.
yeah.
So we in the diaspora need to Thank God we're here and need to take the benefit of what we see here and replicate it to our life so that our children, because Sister B, either we like it or not, how many of our children are going back?
Hmm.
Put that question on the platform. How many
Okay.
of our children are going back to where we
I
come
don't
from?
know. I don't think any. I don't
So,
think there's any.
okay, so why don't we change our opinion, our way of life, so that they can enjoy what we have here? So that's my point in closure. Thank you so much,
Thank
sister.
you,
It's a
sir.
pleasure.
Thank you,
God
Uncle
bless you.
Ade. Really appreciate you, sir. God bless you, sir. Thank you so much. My love to your darling wife. Appreciate you. Asking for a friend, your internet connection is still not good, I'm afraid. So I'm going to jump to Bio. What Africa? I'm coming to you next, and I don't care. Okay. Uncle Bio, Brother Bio,
Auntie, Auntie B, I greet you specially.
I salute you special. How far you go wedding?
Yes, for Atlanta, but I'm back.
Okay.
Yes,
Welcome back. Bele, how
thank
was your
you.
journey?
Not bad, we thank God.
That thing when you
Uh,
put for your motor, so Bio, I no approve. Oh.
uh,
I no approve. You no need to watch. That thing is video and it can be distracting when you are driving. So
okay,
only audio when you are driving. Biko, I love you so much. I don't want anything to happen to you.
thank you very much.
Only audio when you are driving because I see your
Okay,
luxury car, but that video not recommended when you are driving.
okay. All right, thanks. I
Yeah.
I dey feel sleeping. I just dey play loud music. Anyway,
You play am
yeah,
but no put am for video, put am for audio
yeah,
so that you no go make mistake go dey look.
yeah.
Okay, go
Okay,
ahead.
thank you. All right. So I on this today topic, I want to be a little bit um, on the other side. First of all, let me condemn in totality what the actions this Mogo Park has taken because there is no justification for his actions. Okay, so I condemn it in totality. But I like what the earlier callers said, especially was it Rose or something? I can't remember. We need to also talk to our girls back in Africa, okay? If there's a way, because sometimes when things are happening like this, it is very important that those people back there understand what they are getting into so that things like this can reduce. Because this abroad issue, a lot of girls just believe that they can come here, use a man, and just become selfish at the tail end. Please take note. This is not a judgment on this case, but it's something that I'm saying. Because it takes a lot for a man to marry a woman and they have one, two, three kids, sometimes four, five. And also, marriage, what you sign from day one, be ready to do it to the end. Because you saw it when you were going in. For instance, if you are going to marriage and you just sit down there, allow a man to abuse you from day one, to do this, to do that, to do that. In a contract, once one party begin to have a feeling that you are changing the terms of the condition of that contract, regardless of how bad the
On the
initial
agreement,
contract,
the terms of agreement.
yes, no matter how bad the agreement was drafted in the beginning, the other party feels cheated. You understand me, Auntie B? So here is my point.
Mm-hmm.
You see, this man, like other men, for instance, when they marry here in abroad or whatever, like this man, I think this was his second wife, if I understand the story, because I joined a few minutes late, you know, could not delete the first wife or whatever. So why this one? You see, Some of this, when you are tired of marriage, when you are tired of a man, there is a way that you can present things that will not make the other person feel so aggrieved and used.
So you
I
don't
have
think
said
that? Are you saying that it's not because of the DV that made her to run to go and stay with her friend? That maybe she already had an agenda to,
so. Yes.
use the man.
So what I'm saying is, even if it was the DV, we talked about escape route here. You understand? The words that come out from our mouth, our women mouth, you know, we should be very careful, especially in the times of struggle and challenges.
Crisis. When there's crisis.
When there's crisis,
Yes, I
do you
agree.
understand me? Auntie B, I don't just talk. I thank God for the experience I've had in my life. I've lived in a country like Dublin Island, where I know very well they don't even need to import wife safe. Where I know that it takes very little for a woman to discharge you. And one thing I've learned is that no matter how, marriage, I've always said that even if you think that, oh, I am tired, don't present it to look a little bit selfish. You have said it here, times without number, advising our women that don't dislick a man access from his kids, and all that kind of stuff. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Bill, somebody said something here and it
Yes.
resonates with me. Osho Olulaja is saying something. He said child support is probably the main problem. You know why I believe him?
That's where I'm coming to now. Why did you
You know
think
why I
I
believe
said
him? You know that the classmate Evelyn, the guy
yes?
classmate, that is Hosea, the man.
Yes.
In classmate talk say he wasn't doing well. Now 3 children for Canada, now some money they enter for child support. You understand?
Yes.
So when there's a disagreement over how that child support go work, it can
Yes.
become something very problematic in the marriage.
Yes. That was why I started when I told you that I have been privileged to live in Dublin Island. Why did I mention that part? Because you in the UK there, you already know the statement I'm going to there, even if I don't go deep. Because most of these child support countries, do you understand? If these things happen everywhere, but I'm just saying something here. The rate of divorce, bad divorce. That's this thing. Some men, they are so mogo pack, so lazy. They don't know how to walk. Do you understand? They put their eye in that money. You understand?
Bill, it's
And
not funny. Oh, that money don't deserve many marriage. Oh,
that's what I'm
it's not a
saying.
joke. It's not
That's
a
where I'm
joke.
coming to.
If I
Do you
had
under-
my way, all over the both Canada, Europe, I go cancel that child support. Make
See,
everybody rest.
Auntie B, make I tell you. You see our people, eh? I keep saying it. Please, if you're in Canada or all these child support country, don't feel agree. But what I'm trying to tell you, you see many people they will tell you, I don't like Canada, I don't like this. All is just because of free money. You see what I'm trying to tell you? And this man will go park, carry this woman, won't use this woman, and this woman wants to use her too. You see what I'm trying to tell you? At the end, she
Maybe
realized,
don't know about child support.
yes, now.
You know, so when you
That's
come
what
from
I'm
Africa,
telling you.
when you come from Africa, you don't automatically know about child support.
You know,
And
and
Mongo
once you
Park will
don't
not
get
tell
one
you.
friend, when don't explain to you your rights, tell you, say, once you discharge this man now, you know what I'm trying to tell you? This money, no be you can go the share am. Now your own go just go. You see what I'm trying to tell you? You know? So that is why you see sometimes we don't have to hide the facts. Some marriages could have still struggled to work if there was no child support. Might tell you the
Exactly. That
truth.
Bim B is saying that no child support is important. Why is it important? Why? In
Do
our countries where we come from, in Nigeria and Cameroon, do they pay child support? We know
do you
they survive.
understand?
Do you
You
know the
understand what I'm
wahala
trying to
that
tell
child
you?
support has cost? I beg.
And another thing I will also
If
tell
I'm in
you
a
too.
position, let's abolish it. Everybody should go and
Yes.
just let's
For
do
what?
like we're in Africa. You know the one that child support has cost? I beg.
Cost.
Why is it important?
And another thing again, you know why? Because you see, most of these child support countries, there's no country that does not support child, though. But most of those very lenient countries, what they do is that you see, like the American system, unlike the American system, it will hold the man first responsible for the child. Why some of those systems that we are talking about now, they won't even hold the man. They will just go straight. So that is why you see now that once a woman notices that I can just discharge and go, yeah, before they give you child support on a child, they want to first of all discover what is the man doing. Is he handicapped?
No,
Why?
Bill, let me interject. I don't
Yes,
believe that this case was a case of child support because the first wife left him over DV. Okay? But if we are talking generally about child support, what I just want to say is that a lot of people saying child support is for, for the child upkeep and all that. No amount of child support is enough and all that. But Oyibo people in Canada, in Europe, wherever they pay child support, did this for their own people. Isn't it interesting that we Africans that come from Africa, developing country, as Oyibo call us, third world country, where our countries don't even care, we now come here and the child support that Oyibo people did in their country for their own people is what we are now using to fight one another. Who will collect it? Who does it belong to? Isn't that interesting?
yes.
It
But
wasn't even
Auntie,
meant for us. We are just partakers of it because we live in this part of the world.
Auntie B, I
And
see
most people
many
don't even
people,
use it. They don't even use it
many
what is
people
meant
saying,
for.
yes, why I agree that DV is also involved. But I see many people talking, I just say DV. DV doesn't start in a day. It doesn't start in a day. When I said for a man and a woman to have 3 children together, they've come a long way, right? See, most marriages with DV, if it's the true case of DV solely, a man that is violent, I can assure you, you don't even need to have 3 children before you know that this man not a violent person.
I believe that he was violent because the first wife left him
That's what
over
I'm
the same,
saying.
yeah, over the
So
same issue of violence. Yeah.
thank you. That's no. Let me. What I'm trying to explain is that DV is have been there. I'm not saying it's not part of it. You don't
But in
understand me,
class,
Auntie
Lynn
B.
tell us now, if Lynn tell us say for school, you don't be try to carry something to deal with somebody for
That's what
nights
I'm
now.
saying now. We are saying the same thing. I said DV is there, but she have been tolerating it. You don't understand? She don't they tolerate the DV since for inside the marriage. The DV, according to the story, the classmate is even telling you that this man have been a violent man, right? And even his past marriage, DV was involved. So
Yes.
definitely in this marriage, DV is also what? Involved. But what I'm trying to explain to you here is that that DV that is involved is a bad thing, a very bad thing. But this girl, this late girl, I without I'm not in the marriage that that DV started after 3 children. That is my point. Do you understand? So this is why I'm trying to explain to you, Auntie B, that it just be like waiting somebody they do the conscience. Do you understand? When the time come where you want discharge that person, now that excuse where you supposed to don't use since 7 years ago, now you can't go use today. Do you understand my point? So the point I'm explaining here is that DV has been in the marriage. No doubt. I'm not saying those saying it is wrong. No, they are absolutely correct. Do you understand? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so that's why I told you that what you tolerate in the contract from the beginning, when you not change it, do you understand me, Auntie B? If that makes sense. It's
I do
like,
I do understand you, Bill, but
eh,
again, the trajectory for this relationship is different. Now Africa go bring and come. Now small girl. She was 24. He was in his 50s. So You see, from the beginning, the relationship no balance. We're talking
Yes,
about power. In my
yes.
UK WhatsApp group, we're talking about power play in relationships. The person that holds the power is the, you know how they say he who holds the piper dictates the tune. Now so power, the equilibrium of power already is uneven because now older man, she's a young girl. She just finished school. You understand? She come here. Before she go even integrate or even get friends to know what to be child support or no child support, it go take time. But this is a violent person. You understand? Who had
Mm.
trust issues. Now trust issues. This all boils down to trust issues. You know, yeah, I and classmates they talk say they go in workplace, we'll go to where she's working to check whether she's on seat, whether she's not on seat, monitoring her day and night.
Auntie
That
B,
is a recipe for disaster.
yes, that is why I didn't even want us to go round and round because the man himself, even thinking that I'm even trying to support the man is very wrong. I have said the man, let's write the man off first because I have even said this man without condemning, I can't condemn. I say it's a complete Mugo pack, if you understand
No,
what my point.
yeah,
Everything he has done, both from DV, jealousy, everything, he's written off. I agree on that part. But what I'm trying to
yeah.
explain here is that these things, you see it from the one. It didn't start. Things pile up.
I get
Do you
your point.
understand?
I get your point.
Yes,
I do.
things pile up.
Mm,
See,
mm,
things pile up. And
yeah.
most times, it has been that some persons will just tolerate you until they burn finish. And they tell you, you know,
Mm.
women should stop that mentality of once I don't burn finish, I not get what I always to do again. That's my
But we
point.
don't know if that's the situation
You
though.
don't
We
need to
don't know.
wait. You don't need to wait. You don't need to wait. The moment
Mm,
you see those things at the earlier point, you understand? Those things when they talk now. Now
mm.
one day start. They start one day now. They
Bio, you don't understand. You know, easy to for women, Bio, you don't understand. It's
okay.
not easy for African women to walk away from relationship. You are talking as a man. I'm telling you as a woman. Maybe I should bring Adunke in so that he go tell you small. It's not easy for us to walk away from marriage because we are brought up to value marriages. And especially when you don't born picking there, walking away is the last option. So walking, and I understand what you are saying that when you start saying the sign, initially walk away, but it's not so easy for us. Women always want to try to explore every available option before we can decide, but okay, this one is it passed my power. I need to go. It's
So
not
which
so
one is
easy. Oh.
easier? Walking away with one kid and walking away with three and
No,
more?
it's not about what is easier or what is less easier. It's about the
Yeah.
way we are socialized and our value system and the way we are raised.
Right.
And women always trying to make marriages work because this is what we believe in. Who will hear say my marriage no work? So we always try. That's why the option of walking away easily or quickly, like you are suggesting, for most African women is not even on the table. It's not because they would think about so many things. What would church say? What would my parents say? Hey, what will I tell people? Me that they thought I went to abroad now, I'm married, they are envying me, all my friends on social media and everything. That's why it's not an easy decision, my brother.
Do you know why it's easier for them to walk away with many children? Not be the money what they talk now. Because if that thing was not there too as well, regardless of the bad thing that this Mogo Park have been doing to her all these years,
Mm.
she go still bankroll manage am. That is, I don't know if I might not be selling out this correctly,
I
but
don't
my
think I
point,
think you are losing a lot of fans today. A lot of
yeah,
people
yeah, I
are
really want
saying,
to
I
lose.
can't believe
No, Auntie B,
BO are
really,
saying this. BO, stop
yes.
victim blaming. BO, I can't
No,
believe
I'm
you are
not
saying
victim
this.
blaming. My point is this: I'm not victim blaming. My point
This
is
one said BO is having a bad day. He usually speaks this. He doesn't usually speak this way. Cynthia said BO is talking as a man. A man is a position of power.
no, no. I think, well, Auntie B, I will stop here. Do you know why? Because sometimes I always just wanted to try to make sure that
You
Why
balance it.
we all
Yeah.
thank
And
you.
Chichi
Why
is
we
saying,
all look at the man, we should also look at what prompts the useless actions. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you?
yeah, no,
You know,
not
you
when
can.
somebody is deleted. No, not when
Yes,
somebody is deleted.
yes, that's what I'm
When somebody
saying.
is deleted, yeah,
Yes,
this is
yes.
extreme. This is
This is
extreme.
extreme. But if we just go extremely and just say, okay, deleted, 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 yes. If something happen, regardless of how we condemn the action, you should also look at possible cause. How can we stop this from happening? Nobody's
All
blaming
right.
the girl. Nobody's blaming the girl. There are too many divorces there. Just the fact that many got away with it doesn't really mean. I lived in this country. I know what I'm telling you. In Dublin, out of every 10 women, 9 is divorced after having children. I'm telling you.
Okay,
Go and
that's
find
another
out. Do your
conversation.
research.
That's another
Eh?
conversation for another day. It's
So
not,
we know what we are talking
it's not,
about. We don't just carry talk.
Bio, let me
Yes.
tell you what I feel tonight, okay? Thank you very much,
Yes.
my brother. I appreciate your contribution. I'm going to tell you categorically that what you are saying, even though it's valid, it is not relevant to this conversation. What you are saying now is completely different. That's a different conversation. Hmm? So, yeah, we're going to leave it there. Let's move on. Adunke, you are next.
Good evening, Auntie B.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Let me just say something about what Rabio is saying.
Right.
A lot of people are on this platform. They will have been through abuse or seen someone that have been through it. Even if you're a doctor, even if you have PhD, a lot of us African women, we don't even know we're going through abuse to start with.
Right.
Not before you will realize you're going through abuse. Most people have called this show and say until they are watching you and today, they did not realize. Men are stopping people from watching your show because they're making them realize they're going through abuse.
That's
So
true.
let's look at it from that angle alone. And secondly, this issue of women are living after having kids, even if you realize you're going through abuse, because of what we've been through, what we've seen growing up, the neighbors, everything, the first thing is not to, even your pastor is telling you to pray. Even some parents are telling you to pray and say. So where do you start from? And the issue of people always advise, please, if you're hearing me, I'm supposed to be in a Bible study right now, but this is a church for me. Please, if you're out there, you're a woman, you're hearing me, or you're a man, and you know anybody going through abuse, please, the best advice not to tell them to leave. Please hear me out. The best thing is for them to leave, but don't ever advise them that because they are already in a state of confusion. Because if somebody they know, they thought they know, love, having kids with, and it's not easy for women to just walk away. These days, if go on TikTok, go on YouTube, go on Facebook, you see everybody creating content. Single woman this, single woman that. They do this for money, they do this for that. That alone, the trauma alone, the shame alone. Do you know how many people stay in abusive relationships because they don't want to carry the title of single woman? Before I used to be ashamed, I now post it on my WhatsApp every day, almost every day. I've seen people stop talking to me because most people don't even know I left my relationship because this man was never present anyway. But I now decided that, you know what, I'm not going to be ashamed. I started posting it every day on my WhatsApp now. Because people are so ashamed of it, they expect they will judge them, even if they're going through abuse. There's people living in this country, they're living separate lives, just going to
Let me
house
tell you
together so that they.
something. Until we come to a place, Adunke, where people will not be shamed,
Thank you,
disgraced,
thank
embarrassed for living
you,
abusive
thank God
relationship.
bless you,
Women will
God
continue
bless
to
you,
stay in abusive relationship. Men
God
will continue to
bless
stay in
you.
abusive relationship. That's the
And
truth.
and
No matter.
that's to start from there. So if a woman, and another thing you need to know is, if you're one day, I'm still going to be bold enough to come out and share my story. Do you know when they say that a man always a woman use pregnancy to hold a man down? Do you know abusive men do that? Even before you're married to them, most cases, I've heard a lot, I've seen a lot. That's one thing. And then as soon as you have one child, they try to make you have more, so that you will be useless, so that you will not even think of leaving because they know what
Yeah,
they're doing.
but nobody can make you have a child if you don't want to. I don't want us to put that on the men's court, like
See,
men are solely
that's
you
true.
are a woman, you are responsible for your own reproductive organ.
But
Let's
and
not
you see,
blame men.
but this is a woman thinking, okay, she's trying to do everything to make the marriage work. Don't forget, when women find that they're even going through abuse, they're still trying to make it work. They're still
If your
praying.
marriage
They're
is
still
not
willing for you
working
to.
and you are being abused and you think that popping up children is going to make it work, then you are saving your suffering for a bigger day that is coming upon you. That's just the truth. There's
You're
no
right, Auntie
abusive
B.
relationship that having children is going to, in fact, you are creating more problem because the children are going to be traumatized.
That is
So
true, but that's
it's more
for somebody.
that, I think that's what Bio was trying to say
Yeah, that's
about,
for people
having
that
more children
realize.
when the
And
abuse is
see,
already existing in the relationship.
you're right. That's for people that realize and know that okay, this is not the first option. But like I said, because of even a lot of older women will advise you have all your kids and just let him be in the picture and don't date other man, just focus your kids. And that's why we have a lot of abusive mother-in-law as well because they've married their children and then now a younger woman is coming because they've advised them stay, have your kids, and then leave it like that and everything will be fine. So that's one thing. Don't let me say a lot about that. Secondly, like I said, people advising people when they realize they're in an abusive relationship. You can always tell them that, you know what, this relationship you're in, this is what's going on. The best option is for you to leave. If you like, stay 100 years, you still live that end. So make your choice. But if you start bombarding them about leave, they're confused. And you're giving them options, telling them if you leave, this is what will happen, you will get this help. Then that's why they will start reacting to the other partner. So we need to be careful about the advice we give people going
So if
through
you
that.
don't tell them to leave, what should you tell them? Since you say we shouldn't advise people to leave, what should you advise them to do?
Do you even if you advise someone to leave, if they're not ready to leave, they won't leave. People leave for about 12 times and go back anyway.
Yes,
If they're not
yes.
in that space to leave, you're advising them to leave, they will go back and they will go and tell that man about everything you advise them. Have you
Yeah.
seen people that will still leave and blame you when they're going through the grieving stage, the
Oh
depressive
yes.
stage, and you are happy in your relationship?
Mm-hmm.
So that's not I've helped people come out. There's a particular day, you know what I always tell her every day? When she come, even her own mother was crying that I don't understand whether she wants to die, whether this, whether that, whether she's the only one that's married. The mother was begging me that do everything you can. So what I always tell this lovely friend of mine, she might be watching this show today. I always tell her, I say, you know what, you're dealing with a nasty. If you like stay 100 years, you go still live. And even if you don't leave, the day it's ready, the day you find another supply, it will leave you. So the choice is yours. But
Thank you.
anytime I'm here for you, I always tell her that. But guess what? She left. And when she left, she reminded me that statement I always tell her. So
Thank you.
that's only a
Yeah.
man,
I
a
don't care.
man
Can you
that
round
loves.
up now so that we can move on? I have a full studio, so just round
Yeah,
up,
sorry,
please, so
and to
that
be
we
just
can move
like
on.
2 points, please. A man that loves their children will never, even when you divorce or when something goes wrong, they will never treat a woman badly. So if this man that killed this woman and loves his children, he won't even do that in front of them, even if he hated that woman. So that's another sign. Because if you don't love your kids, if you don't have empathy, they can have kids and not even love them in the first place. And when you meet a man that's got children, that's got family before, married, and they're giving you so many stories, they're not seeing their kids, they will bring up so many excuses. Just let us be careful. There's a lot of points, but I can't go on because I
Yeah.
need to go because you wanted. I mean, there's a lot of people on the studio.
And there's somebody, there's a child crying in your background. I don't care. Thank you so much, but you need to attend to that child. She or he has been crying for some time now. But I do appreciate what you are saying. But me, in good conscience, I do ask people now, what do you want to do? But I can never, ever encourage someone who tells me that they are in an abusive relationship, whether you're a man or a woman, to remain in that relationship. I can't. Whether you want to leave or not is your cup of tea, but I won't tell you to stay. I won't. I will not. It's your decision to make at the end of the day, and I will ask you, what do you want to do? And they may leave and go back. It takes some time for people to gain clarity sometimes, because again, Upbringing has a lot to do with it. But I can't encourage people to stay in abusive relationship because they won't leave anyway. No, I wouldn't. I won't do that because my conscience will not be able to bear it if anything happened to you after I told you to leave and you stayed. I can't do that. I will never do that. If you are in abuse, leave. End of. What Africa? Unmute yourself
Yeah,
and tell us where you're
yeah,
calling from.
yeah. I'm calling
Mm.
you from New York,
Welcome,
and
bro.
yeah, thank you. And I just wanted to say one thing: hurt people, hurt people. Okay,
Amen.
so you have to understand that. And I want to commend you on something, right? I don't think social work is your calling. You know what your calling is, Auntie B?
No,
It's
no.
therapy and life coaching. I think
Lobaton.
yeah, you need to focus on that, yeah,
But
because
this is social work I'm doing though. Safeguarding is social work.
yeah, well, you have a higher calling than the social work. I'm gonna tell you,
Okay.
your calling is therapy and life coach. You will do
Okay.
extremely well in that. Trust me, and pray
Thank
about it, and
you.
you'll see what I'm telling you is the truth. But
Thank you, babe.
yeah, yeah, you know what it is, Mr. Ade and Bo, right? They have their own opinion, so I understand where both of them is coming from, right? So now
Mm-hmm.
you see this guy, he took advantage of her age.
Mm.
You see, that's why I tell everybody, when you're talking to someone, make a psychoanalysis of the person.
Mm-hmm.
The red flags will come out eventually. So you will decide whether you want to continue going courting this person or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody's going to show red flags, women and men.
Mm-hmm.
So it
Mm-hmm.
depends on what you can accept in life, right? Because now when I'm dating, sometimes I'm dating women, I'll be seeing red flags. I'll be seeing red flags. So I'll say to myself, we all have red flags. It's what can we
What can you take?
continue
What
with?
can you
Okay,
put up with?
what can
Yeah.
you
What
take?
can you live with?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
all have. Yeah, what can we live with? So we all have the red flags, but what can you deal with? This guy was married before, so that's
Mm-hmm.
a ultimate red flag. So that girl, she was 24 years old. She never knew that because she's a young girl. Eventually, when she starts saying, because he took her youth at 24
Mm-hmm.
years old, that's a very
Mm-hmm.
young age to get married. Even me, as a early 40s man, if I'm dating and I see a woman 23, 22, 24 that wants to marry, I'll tell them no. Wait till you're 27, 28. At least I have conscience. I want you to live your life. I want you to enjoy your life. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand where I'm coming from now?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that is it. So he took away her youth because he took advantage of her naive. He knew
Mm-hmm.
he knew he knew she was naive. You
Mm-hmm.
see what I'm saying now? And
Mm-hmm.
another thing too, social wise, maybe this girl doesn't come from money,
Mm-hmm.
so that's another advantage too. Okay, this girl, she's not a money, she's not from a family that has money. Okay, you know what, let me deceive her, let me throw a little few $200 here, you understand what I'm saying now? So I think everybody needs to make a psychoanalysis of the partner, then you can see the little parts, because it's those things that it's when you're looking at if you don't look at your partner, they're going to show you a lot of stuff. Then you take notes. Okay, this is how this person is, then you know what to do. Am I making sense or not?
Yes, absolutely. What Africa? I hear you, my brother.
Yes, that is it. Oh,
Thank
that
you
is
very much. You do well for our body.
it.
We hear you.
Thank you, thank you, thank
Everybody
you.
should psychoanalyze, analyze them properly, to know what you can live with. There is red flag, there's green flag, and there's yellow flag. The traffic lights. Thank you so much, my brother. What Africa from New York City. Uzo, you are next. Thank you, darling. What do you have to say?
Oh, Auntie B, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I initially wanted to sit this one out because I was feeling like, okay, maybe I'm being too harsh. But I think, when people say that when He creates people, He gives us a brain, He gives us free will, and that's why there's heaven and there's hell. I also think that's how we should deal with people. Okay. One thing I want to advise women on is when you see, or whoever, even if the man is with you in Nigeria or overseas, I think the first thing we should begin to do is to Google these men. Put their name on Google. You'll be shocked at what you will find. I'm going to give a quick example. Before I married my husband, there was someone who I met, doctor, doing well, was living in a $1 million house. And I was asking him, I was like, you have all this. How come you're not married? You don't have a girl. You're here chatting this and chatting that. And he would tell me stories of how he has not met the woman and everything. I said, okay, you know what? And my spirit was really telling me there's something about this guy. I Googled his name and I found out that he had lived in America and he was married, and he had gotten divorced. So one day when he said he was coming to visit me, I cooked a goosey soup for him. So after he finished eating the food, I showed him the phone. I said, I thought you said
You
this.
and this egusi soup. Uzo,
I
no be
said,
today you don't cook this egusi soup.
Auntie B. I said, but you told me this. What is this I'm saying on the internet? And he began to talk this here and there. So what am I saying in essence? Sometimes you have to Google this man. Google this man. You'll be shocked at what we'll see. And the truth is that even there are some women that even if they see these things, they will still go ahead because they want to leave Africa. I understand things are tough and everything. I can sympathize, but I still feel that there's more to your life than risking it all. You're going on to be with a man who he has been charged for domestic violence, and you think your story is going to be different because you're the most beautiful, you are fairer than Snow White. I don't know. You can't make exemptions for this man because men, when they deal with women logically. You hear a man say she doesn't have a master's degree, I can't be with her. If she doesn't have this, and they stick to it. Women, when we start sticking to things, to have values and say these are my values, if it doesn't check this list, I'm not moving forward. I don't
Because
understand.
women are desperate. That's why. A lot of women are desperate. That's why.
Okay. And to be honest, I also want to say something about giving birth. I know I sent you a lengthy message on IG. I know many women
Mm.
even look at me when I say this, like, oh, so you're married. How come you say these things? And the truth is, your body is your own. In as much as you are in a marriage, you should be able to decide how many children you would have, and then stop
Absolutely.
blaming the men. Or
Yes. No, I don't
because
know. I don't. And any
I
woman that
don't
comes here to say,
understand.
"Hey, it's just making me pregnant," no.
What do you mean by that?
Your body is yours.
Your
Your
body is your
vagina is
own.
yours. Go to
No,
a sexual health clinic and put a coil on
I don't understand.
without telling anybody.
And
What
for
are you
yours is
telling me? Wants to get me
difficult.
pregnant?
For
No,
yours is
I
so
don't take that
difficult.
nonsense.
I don't like to hear that. I even the last story from this peace story where the lady came and said, oh, when the marriage looks like, oh, if you don't have a child, the marriage is going to end. What's all this nonsense? Auntie B, maybe one day I'll tell you the story of my struggle to have children. Auntie B, right now, if I'm going to have more children, I'm already classified as high risk. I had numerous miscarriages. At a point, I was tired, and my husband said to me, my husband doesn't call me by name. He said to me, woman, if you never have a child, you are enough for me. And I will cry. Some people
Hmm.
will think, oh, why do I always carry my husband like this? But we've been through hell and high waters. And as an
He
Igbo
said
man,
that
he was
if you never have a
strong.
child, you are enough for me.
So when people are, when I'm like, oh, fighting for my husband, carrying him on my head, they don't understand, all the things he has proven to me, and that's why I can go through hell and high waters for him. Stop,
No, leave
stop,
them. They will open their
stop.
womb every day and be
No,
getting. You think that if you don't have any, or you want him to use condom when you have power. This is the only thing that literally science has given us power over. Whether you want to get pregnant or not, you now lie
you're
down
having
there
five
every day,
children, six
and you
children,
and you think you will not get pregnant. See,
children. Where do
let
you
me tell
have
you
these
something. So
children
you know
from?
what pisses me off about our gender is this vulnerability that we always feel like we are always at the mercy of the
You
man.
are
We're
not.
always at the mercy of the husband. That I have no control over my life. Everything is his fault. No,
It's not.
you two,
You're
you
proud of
allowed it.
yourself. I think that from when you guys start treating your marriage as a contract. Before I and my husband were getting married, we treated our marriage as a contract. What are your do's and your don'ts? What's a deal breaker if I do this? The marriage is ending. If you do this, the marriage is ending. You have jobs where you sign contracts, and if you step out of your contract, you're out of the job. Start treating your marriages as a contract. You will see how sweet marriage is. I always say marriage is easy as ABC. Some people will say, oh, maybe you are talking too soon. You're talking this. I said, well, I said what I want to say. My marriage will always work because I'm putting effort in it. And you just have to have sex. I don't know. It just feels like maybe I'm being too harsh, or maybe I don't get it, or many people are not like me. And
You
please,
got it.
Auntie
Also,
B gets
let
in
me tell you
Canada.
something. You are the one that got it, and that's why you didn't end up with a Mongo pack. And you are happy in a relationship where your husband values you, he loves you, and you respect him, and you're always cooking a goosey soup for him every Sunday and eating his face and all that. Do you understand? All the
Yes,
ones that think that you don't get it, they are the ones that didn't get it. That's the truth. Because women, sometimes you should see the stories that I hear. I hear some stories, and if they were my sisters, I'll feel like I want to slap you.
I
Are you
would
okay?
lose your head. Like, what are you
Are you
saying?
okay? A
And
lady told me a few days ago she
yes,
was in 300 levels in Uniben. Uzo, make you see our agenda. I think this is what Bill was, part of what he was saying is that we need to start taking accountability for the decisions that we make when it comes to relationships. She dropped out 300 level because the man said, "Oh, I want to go and do masters in the UK, and I love you so much because you are a good wife material, and I want to marry you." So she dropped out to marry him. Guess what she did? She followed him to the UK and started doing hair and collecting money to
imagine.
support him.
Just imagine. Women, choose
She
yourself.
buried her dreams, buried all her aspiration because
And a
of
man
marriage.
will never do that.
When
A
you
man
talk
will
like this,
never
they will
do
see
that.
as if, do you even like marriage? Yes, I love marriage, but I will never give up on my dreams, my aspiration, and my person as a woman
Just
that
because
know
I
my
want to
value because of
get
marriage.
married.
No,
It
I
doesn't make
wouldn't.
any sense. Women, let us tell ourselves this truth. We can't continue saying these things. We've been saying it since the times of our mothers. Now, this is social media. Everybody's forming woke, but you don't want to wake up and smell the coffee. Another thing I want to say, I'm big on financial, maybe because of my upbringing. My mother often tells me, like, "Uzo, you're different. Woman, you're different." So you always think like this. Please, if you're on this call and you're in Canada, yes, Auntie B, they give us money in Canada. But the truth is, the money I get is not even up to $200 because the more you earn, the less the government will give you. And Auntie B, even with that money, heaven can bear me witness. I have never spent a dime from that money they give me for children upkeep. It's going towards RESP. My children must go to school because I came to Canada as an international student. I have no student loans, so I have to pay it forward. If you know you cannot afford children, don't have them. Get this mentality of, oh, children multiply this, that. Get the mentality. If you cannot afford these children, don't give birth to them. You can't be having children because you want to collect government benefits. Like, are we serious? Are we serious?
Yes.
Are we still doing these things? We can't afford to be doing these things. Please,
Monilola,
let's do better.
Monilola is
Let's
saying
do
that a
better.
real man who wants a woman he loves to give up on her dreams, you will be surprised. We're talking about power and control. If you know how we're talking some time ago. Thank you so much, Uzo. I
Yes,
appreciate your
yes,
contribution, my darling.
yes,
God bless
yes,
you. Love
yes.
you so much, sweetheart. Because of time, I need to move on very quickly because we've got so many people waiting to contribute and I want to take everyone. So we're talking about coercion and control. You see, when you are going through there's a form of abuse that is called coercion and control. It's very subtle, okay? Especially if it's a woman that is experiencing it, you won't know. You think it's love. Because women, we are very emotional beings. Oh, I just love you. This is my dream. We need to have a big family. I've always wanted to have plenty children. You see? Before you know, you'll be saying, oh, what does it take? Just whispering those sweet nonsense into you. And some Mongo Park know how to play that game. They are professors in it. So it's easy to manipulate gullible women, younger, especially younger ones. Very, very easy. And then years later, you look back and you'll be saying, is it the same person? What's happening? I thought is our goals, is our no, it's not. You gave up on yourself. You agreed to be having children per minute per second while he's the only provider. You guys listen to the story of peace. The husband came on Saturday and told us his version. People were cussing me out for that show. I had to switch off the comment section. A lot of our subscribers, the African Americans, were like, "You are too harsh on him. You are this, you are that." I wasn't harsh on him. I allowed him to say his piece. I was very understanding. But when he said that, it got to a point in the show when he said that she got what she deserved, that it's God that is punishing her. That's when I said, tọ́lọ́run bá ń sàmì ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ta ló lè dúró? No. So women, we need to do better. We have to do better. Okay, we're moving very quickly now. D, you are next. Unmute yourself, darling. How are you?
Hi, I'm okay. Sorry, I lost my voice. I was in a football match the other day.
Oh,
I
really? You
screamed
shouted
my
so much.
I shouted. Oh, These people, they wanted to give me a heart attack. I was like, not today, please.
Really?
I'm actually I'm actually visiting my family in Canada. So the story you're talking about obviously has been talked of in the circles. And I
Right.
think one thing I'll say is, although I understand what everybody's saying, this advice, right, it works for somebody who has not opened their eyes, if that makes sense. Everybody can be naive in certain situations. And the thing is, she eventually woke up, right? And she left. But he kept finding her everywhere she was going. And she even called the police and said, I can see him downstairs, he's all in black or whatever. We don't know why the police didn't react at the time. So then when she was going to set the children to the nursery, he then came and stabbed her, right? And what I'm
You don't
trying to
use that
say,
word. You should know that,
oh, sorry,
D.
delete, sorry, delete. But what I'm trying to say is this man was going to do that regardless because he had been in jail. I mean, he was so relentless, and I think they know the victims. When he went back home, he didn't just pick somebody who was, whose eyes was open. He went and picked somebody who was more naive and whatever. And when she woke up, he was like, "That's it." So there are some people who are like that, and very control freaks. So if you are in that situation and you leave, unfortunately, they're like relentless. And I think there should be a degree of compassion for those victims because I don't think anybody goes into those marriage thinking they'll end up with an abuse or they'll be deleted. Even when she left, she didn't think that he was going to pursue her and go and delete her. And she tried her best, but unfortunately, he still went and did it. It's very sad that he didn't even think of his children. He was so focused on, ending her and things like that. But because I've known people in those kind of situations, and you tell them to leave, and sometimes some of them feel stuck. They don't have a job. You even suggest like that's fine. I'll give you money every month, but they just the way they mess up with their minds. It's so hard for them to come out of that fog. That's why there's a documentary that they did on DV and saying that a lot of victims go back because of the immense emotional manipulation they've all done so that the person goes back and you try and it takes so long. I do feel bad for them because it's literally like emotional manipulation every single day. They don't break them in one day. I think there's a lady in the comments who said she went through that for 20 years. Absolutely 20 years. So it's very sad. But anyway, we move. I do hope
We
that,
learn the lessons. Yeah.
something will I think the lesson is difficult, because when you pick someone back home who is that naive, I know
No,
people saying,
it's so
Google
yeah.
them and
People back.
everything, but they don't even think of doing that sometimes because they
No,
don't
they
think
don't.
that person can be that bad. It's very hard to imagine somebody. Like when I looked at the story, I'm like, what kind of evil is this? Sometimes it's so hard to imagine somebody can be that evil because they just break and you're like, what's going on? I think it's so difficult. And sometimes you have grace, so you end up with good one that when they get mad, they just take the keys and walk out of the house and just say like, please leave me. But I think sometimes you can do everything you want, but sometimes unfortunately you end up with this kind of people. But I do pray for them, it's very, very hard. That's why when
Thank
people
you.
and to end, I was in a conversation, with a cousin's husband, and the way he was speaking, I was like, "You have a sister. Do you understand?" Like he was speaking like, "Yeah, she probably came here."
Yeah. People like that, there's nothing you can do. That's their mindset. By their fruits we shall know them. D, you are muted though. Boy, more. We're not hearing you.
And to be, I have to go. My brother is coming to pick me up, but I'll
All
keep
right, no
listening. Oh,
problem. All
thank you
right, thank you,
so
sweetheart.
much.
All
Bye.
right, take care. Have a nice holiday. See you soon. Bye. Okay, yeah. By their fruit you shall know them. Sometimes it's by what people say, what comes out of their mouth. That's why it's good to have friendship, conversation outside romance, so that you can even see what people. Some people, their mindset is so biased. It's like women that always say all men are bad. Men. If you see men run, there's some mindset that the way the person talks already tells you, before you even see their character and what the relationship is going to look, they have very negative mindset. Beware of people that always have extreme mindsets. All these women, they're always like this. This is what they always do. They come here to collect the money. They come here because they know the law is against the men to put their husband in jail. Be careful. When people talk, take them seriously. Listen to what they are saying. Don't get carried away in emotions. Emotions will go fade very quick. This well. Socks, you're welcome, oh.
Auntie B,
Hey.
I too love this your show, but it's a pity that we lost the sister. She
Yeah.
tried. She really tried. For her to take the bold step to leave the house, she tried. But let's go back to the foundation. The foundation is her home, where she came from. If she is 24 years old, I cannot really do the maths, but I'm sure her mom is still on the young side. I've said this on the show before, that my mom will always speak to whoever we're getting married to before you even say, I want to say I do. She is against DV. This age gap is not realistic in this day and age. You come to meet me to tell me you are 54, you are 40 to come and marry my 23-year-old. And for her to have 3 children, she got married maybe in her teens.
Yeah.
You stand up as a woman. All that they say Africa, poverty, but there's one thing we do in Africa. We give ourselves education. If she had invested education in her daughter,
She was
I don't,
educated. She was a graduate.
okay, she's a graduate.
Yes.
So the mother is somebody that has knowledge. What are you going to do with is it the age, Auntie B? The age. Is this your teacher? What will she be calling him? Darling, sir, or what? You cannot even look the man in the eye. That is
No,
why
you
I
know,
say
so you've forgotten that in Africa they say that the older men are the ones that take care of their wives more.
that
They
was
will look after
before,
you.
Auntie B. That was before. Not now. Not now. And when I mean before, that is like our grandmother's age, oh. Not even my mother's age, that my mother is 74. They have their own now. These women of these days, mothers of these days, Auntie B, now, you are a mother. A friend of mine just called me today and told me her daughter is getting married. She just turned 50. And I said, Pam, are you excited? She said, no. I said, why? She said, marriage is not easy work. You have to be strong because you don't know what abuse is. Abuse coming. I said, Pam, why are you talking like this? She said, I'm not saying that my daughter is getting married to a man that is abusive, but you have to start educating. She said, so educate your children. Because when this abuse comes, it might be mental abuse, it could be financial abuse, it could be physical abuse, it could be controlling, just controlling. And that, I'm sure that was what this girl was going through, and she ran.
Yeah,
So
they say he
please,
was showing up in her work.
you see,
He was causing a lot of havoc. He was
and
monitoring. He was very insecure.
our
And he had anger
community,
issues.
you see, that's an abuse. Our community is not helping us. Our religion, our African religion is not helping us. That when a woman say, this man is acting this way, I need to go, they say, no, go. You are not the first person. You don't know what other people are going
Enjoy
going
it.
through in marriage.
Enjoy it.
Endure. You come Canada, this man is your Lord. Oh, he showed you way. Now you want to leave him? No. We have to. That is why I love your platform. Your platform has exposed a lot of gems. We have begun to see a lot of things that we were covering with blanket and say, no, let's cover it like this. Let's cover it like this. Your platform has empowered a lot of women to stand up for the truth and say, no, I can't take this. And women, please, you are in charge of your body. Especially when you are in obodooyinbo country. We have health centers that even if you don't want to go to your regular doctor, you go to the health center and go and take care of yourself. Raising children in a foreign country is difficult, is hard work. And you can imagine a 24-year-old girl with 3 children. What kind of income is she bringing in? Then she has to care for the 3 children, pay for childcare, and still go through what she was going through in that marriage. So please, sisters and mothers, let us stand up for our own. Let us encourage our daughters. We don't have to be 60, 80 to say, oh, I've gone through it. But listening to these life lessons, we can use it as an instrument to say, what I'm seeing, what you're going through is not good. Stop that. And that's why I say we have to change this, our African religion, our community. If you don't have any friend, just go on YouTube and be listening to people. Just listen to people. So you will renew your mind. So once your mind is being renewed, you begin to empower yourself. You begin to see a new you in yourself. Because now I hear from the platform that most men don't want their wives to listen to Obodoyibo TV. It's their loss.
It's okay.
It's their loss.
It's fine. We're not worried.
We are not
When the
worried at
marriage falls
all.
apart, we will still be here. They will still come to us.
Yeah. And I'm
Matter
sure,
when they say make Papa no settle, now front of Papa now in the matter at the
yes.
end.
And I'm sure she will have reached out to her parents because of financial stability. Her parents will say, oh, you know, this man has brought you here. Manage. But I'm proud of her. But it's a pity that we lost our sister. It's been a
Thank you so
while
much.
this has happened. But she
Yeah,
went as a hero because she left.
yeah,
She took that
yeah.
bold step and left. The Mongo
Mm,
Park kept on chasing her because he's not mentally stable. Somebody that
yeah,
is mentally stable will say no. But he wants to control her, went to her place of work and did this thing.
yeah.
No.
Thank you so much, Sox. Really appreciate your contribution, my darling sister. Moving on very quickly, we've got Mama Jojo. Hi, Mama Jojo. Please unmute yourself. How are you, sis?
Hi, Auntie B. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. Again, I want to say a big thank you for all you do. And I share your posts on all the Liberian platforms. And I
Thank you, Ma.
always reference you because you are doing such a very great job. And I want to say this, there are a couple of 3 points I want to say. The first thing is when I had my daughter in my marriage and I knew it was an abusive marriage, I chose not to have another child again. That's why I have only one child today. I'm an African woman.
Amen.
I'm a Liberian
Yeah.
woman. But the thing
Mm-hmm.
about it is the church that we were going to, it was a completely assembly of God, white church, evangelical church. So the church were hearing teachings about what abuse is, how a man is supposed to treat his wife, how a woman is supposed to treat her husband. We're hearing the truth of God with that relates to this culture. So because I had that support from my church and I had only quality friends, I didn't mingle with African people a lot. I had my one daughter, went back to the University of Minnesota, graduated, got my degree and everything, and I left. So there is no excuse for anybody. The children don't keep people together. And I know people who don't even have children, and that man still honors them and respects them and loves them. So I would say case by case basis. And number two, and to be our African women, if 75% of us come to the realization that no normal woman who has children for a man will leave a man who is not abusive, who's a provider, who treats her right behind closed doors, a lot of our women will come out of these situations. But women, we are the number one persecutors when a woman walks away from a bad relationship. When I walk away from a bad relationship, Auntie B, I stopped going around the Liberian prayer group I was in because I was the subject of humiliation. And I said to myself, the things that I want you to go through, you question yourself like the things that you want me to go through. I know it's not normal, but if it works for you, it's not going to work for me. So I had
That's
to
what people
ask.
don't understand. That's what people don't understand. The humiliation, the embarrassment, the side looks, the side gossip that you go through when you leave. So, and that is why when you are saying, oh, why didn't you leave? It's not so easy.
It's not easy though. It's not easy. I would say this. That's why I don't go to African churches. Nothing against African churches. I just show that African churches don't work for me in this country. If I have a problem with my fiance that we go see a professional licensed marriage counselor that works for this country. I do not subscribe to a lot of the things in the African culture because look, the thing they can tell you, go ahead, divorce. My sister, everybody is passing through. Do you know what I've been through with your father? But these are the things that Interpret, thank you. Sorry. That's it. Bye.
Thank you, Mama Jojo. Really appreciate you, my darling sister from out there in Washington, D.C. I see what you mean. There are so many beautiful things about African culture. But when it comes to relationship, we need to do better. Our relationships are mostly very toxic. That's the truth. Most people went through abusive, childhood, watching their mothers being abused, and it's just transcended to the next generation. Unfortunately, we need to do better. Our cultures are rich. There's so much we can learn in other areas, but relationship, we got to do better. Okay, Jimmy, you are
Okay.
welcome. How are you? Jimmy, can you hear me? Oh, you're busy.
Yes, Sister B, I'm right here.
Okay, I can hear children in the background. Are you doing school runs?
Oh yeah, I've been waiting before school run. Good
Pele.
afternoon, Auntie B. How are you?
I'm good, my love. How are you?
I'm okay. Yeah, so I have a little bit of different opinion concerning this case particular. I am an imported wife, so I want to share from my own point of Start and close the door. I'm sorry. So for me, I see this lady as a very brave lady, and for the fact that a lot of people have said that she realized that, oh, this marriage is not the typical one that I want, and then she left. And unfortunately, it's so sad. This stupid man, I'm so sorry, still went ahead and did what he did. So me being in Nigeria and being here, what I knew when I got here is totally different from my perspective about. Hello.
I'm not hearing you again, no, Jimmy. Is it me or is it you? Can you guys hear Jimmy? Are you driving?
Hello, can you hear me? Aunty
I'm hearing you
B?
now.
I'm
Go
trying to
to the
use my
point.
earpiece,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
the
Go
car.
very
Okay.
quickly. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So my point is, people coming from.
Unfortunately, I cannot hear you, Jimmy. So I'm going to have to let you go. I know you have a very valid point you want to share. Maybe when you pack, we'll be able to hear you more clearly, right? Barry, I'm going to come to you in a minute, but I've got Juliet. Hello, Juliet. Your surname sounds like a Cameroonian name. Am I right?
Hi, Auntie B. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Welcome. Where are you joining us from?
Thanks, Auntie. I'm calling from the UK.
Right,
Auntie B, I've actually shared my life experience in the show before, so I believe you know me, or
right. Go
perhaps you
ahead.
recognize me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry, if it doesn't click immediately, it will at some
no,
point.
I recently had a baby, and which I shared with you. But anyways, long story short, um, obviously, I just want to make a few points, which I believe a lot of people probably are not going to resonate with me. I know you've mentioned about the gentleman that turned up at the show the other day, about um, people criticizing you for not giving him the platform to express what he was saying. Obviously, he mentioned about being happy that that lady that is suffering from mental health, that he's happy about, that I think something in the effect of he's happy that she's going through what she's going through. And you've mentioned about it today. I'm not really sure if I'm up to speed with things because my internet is not necessarily strong today, unfortunately. But what I just want to say is that, and to be, please don't necessarily take that seriously, because people are bound, they are bound to criticize you for going hard on him. Obviously, because
I didn't even go hard on him. I
you
think I showed him
you do not,
understanding.
you
I did not go
absolutely
hard
do
on
not.
him. I don't know what they're talking about. I think it just boils down to this politics of, okay, people always feel like they have to choose sides, you know, instead of looking at everything, the information that we have available, people always want to choose sides. So
Yeah,
there's
and
nothing I can do about that.
no, and to be, you're absolutely right. I think I'm going to correct my French. You did not go hard on him, but rather you call out what you think he was saying that wasn't necessarily appropriate to the situation at hand. Some people may not necessarily, especially our African people, may not necessarily understand where you were coming from. You are a social worker. It is your duty to safeguard people, to protect people, to make sure everyone is safe. So we are being groomed, or should I say, nurtured or raised within the culture of hush hush. Don't say anything. Just keep your mouth shut. Pretend as if nothing is as if anything is happening. Just keep your mouth shut. But obviously, I didn't watch the live show, but I watched the after show. I could definitely feel the passion within your tone. I'm a social worker within the child protection sector myself. So I totally understand where you were coming from. I don't blame you, absolutely, because if I was in that position, I think I would have probably screamed or cursed at him or anything or something of such. So I totally understand where you're coming from. So please do not feel like you say anything out of context, because you do
No,
not.
no, 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 no. I just didn't want to give them a platform to be going back and forth, so I just switched the comment. I mean, it's easy. YouTube made it easier for me. When I switched the comment off, I shut everybody up. Everybody, Mona, go in the house. Case closed. You know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And to be, I've been in your show and I've shared my life experience with one Mongo Park. The life experiences that I went through, the abuses that I went through at a very, very tender age. So, speaking on that, I'm going to say something. I'm really going to hold it really, really brief and short, because I know there are many, many people on the platform willing to call in and express their views. But from my perspective, I personally think, and I know it's not necessarily acceptable within the African culture,
Mm-hmm.
because when I went through the abuses that I went through, a lot of people knew what I was going through, and I shared my experiences with them.
Mm-hmm.
They gave their advice, some of which said, "Oh, just deal with it. That is what relationship is about. You can't really talk about it because you need to, it's all about that keep quiet, hush hush mentality thing." But one thing that I would really say is that we as society, we have the duty of care to
Mm-hmm.
safeguard one another. Safeguard one another in the sense of, I've been in a situation whereby I knew someone, she was an acquaintance. She was going through a lot of abuses. She had children. The man was really abusive towards this woman. So she will come on to me and she will tell me all the things that are going to, and I personally witnessed the things that she was experiencing, and most
Mm-hmm.
especially the children, because we always forget the children. Yes,
Yes.
the woman or the man are going through abuses, but the children are always lost within
Yes.
yes, nobody really take their feelings, their emotions into consideration. So she will come to me and she would tell me, "Oh, I'm going through this, he's been beating me," and stuff like that. And I would ask questions. Where were the children where these things happen? And I
Yeah.
personally witnessed some of the things that actually happened because we were neighbors. I saw the man beating the woman, pulling out a knife and stuff like that. And the children were really, really frantic. They were really frightened. They were scared for their own safety, for the safety of their mother.
Mm-hmm.
I was really concerned. I was worried. And I know within the African culture, we have this mentality, this perception that you don't right, if you see something, don't say anything. Keep quiet.
Yeah. Your testimony just came to me now.
I'm
Yes.
Juliet. Yes, that lady that sent you those
Yes.
pictures of my
Oh
daughter.
my
That picture.
God. You are the
Yes, I'm the
tactical
one.
one that executed that plan. You are that one
Exactly.
that executed that plan that relocated. Oh my God.
Exactly. Yes,
Your
you got it.
story.
Auntie.
Oh goodness.
Yes.
It brings joy to my heart. I mean,
Yes.
seeing your baby and your family and
Thank
what
you,
God has done in
Auntie.
your life is just amazing. It's
Thank you, Auntie.
amazing.
I really appreciate, and I love you so much. You really do.
Congratulations. I'm so happy because God has just turned your story around. He's turned your life around. He's
Amen.
giving you a new beginning and he's
Yes.
giving you such a beautiful, beautiful child. On top of this is just icing on the cake.
Yes.
So yeah,
Yes.
I mean, for I think I'm gonna when I finish this show, I will link your story at the back so that people can read those who have forgotten, because we get a lot of stories here. Will go back and watch your story and see what God can do when people have the courage to move and say, no, I'm not going to live in this relationship. I'm not going to endure this abuse. No, I deserve better.
Absolutely. So, this lady in question, I witnessed the severity of the abuses that she was going through, that she encountered. And I was really worried for those children because they would cry, they would shout, they were really worried about their children. But a lot of people knew about what was happening, but no one said anything. Some people told this lady, "Oh, yeah, this is what marriage is about. You just need to just work on it. You can't really talk about it. Just endure, endurance." But bull crap. Sorry, excuse my French. But I saw things from a very, very different perspective because when this lady spoke to me, I told her, I said, what you are going through is unacceptable, most especially the well-being, the welfare of your children.
Mhm.
Those children should not be living in such an environment of abuse.
Mhm.
Something needs to be done about it. So I told her what she could do. I gave her all the resources, the tools, the advices on what exactly to do. But she did not do anything about it. And I was really worried.
Mhm.
These children were looking really unkempt. When you see them, if you even call one of them out of the net, if you just say hello,
Mhm.
they were looking really, really frightened. They're always
Yeah, I don't
scared.
think women understand. I
They're
think if
always
more women understand the impact of abuse on children, then it will help them to decide quicker. If you know, that it's not only you that is suffering, that your children are suffering more than you. When you are being beaten in front of your children or they are in the rooms, they know. If you know the impact
absolutely.
it has on your children, then you will not be looking for advice up and down.
And it's very, very easy. I know it's not necessarily all the time, but most times you can really spot children who are living in an environment of abuse. They're
Absolutely.
always looking very scared, very
Yes.
frightened,
They
very
have no confidence.
quiet,
Yes. They are scared.
very, very, yeah,
They
very
perform
quiet.
very badly in school. They're always
Yes.
failing. Yeah. They have behavior issues. The list goes on and on and on. Yeah.
Yes, yes. These children were always very quiet. When you see them, you talk to them, they're always very, very quiet. And I became really, really worried. And within myself, I kept ruminating. I was like, what is it can I do to change the situation for these children? To me, at that point, it wasn't necessarily about the woman nor the man. It was about the children. I was really fixated about making things better for the children.
And that's why it's a safeguarding child protection when children experience even the abuse that is not directed to them that they witness. That is abuse. And that
Mhm.
is why social services take children away. Then it's the same Africans that will be crying and running up and down. Oh, those social services, they are evil. That social worker is a wicked person. They took my
Yeah.
children away.
Oh,
But
yes.
you
I've been
allow the
cursed
children to
many
experience
times.
this abuse.
I've been cursed many times. I've been thrown tomatoes. Oh, la 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 la. But to me, at the end of the day, deep within me, I know I'm doing the right thing.
You have a
It's
duty of care towards those children. And if the parents don't want to do the right thing, you force their hands. You use the
absolutely.
law. You use the legislation, everything that you've been empowered with.
Oh,
As a social worker, you will use it to safeguard the children. That is your duty of care
And to be at
because
that
they are
time,
adults. And when people are adults, you have the capacity to make the decision to endure abuse for the rest of your life if you want to. It's an
mhm,
unwise decision, but according to the mental capacity, under the law, you're actually allowed to make unwise decision. It's okay. But the children, that's another matter
yes,
entirely.
I need to take their best wish into consideration, and I know they will not want to see their parents fighting, quarrels, shouting, and all those mumbo jumbos. But
Yeah,
Anthony,
thank you.
you've actually made a statement, and I think most of our people will not be in agreement with me. When I saw what I saw, and I gave this lady advices on what to do and how to go about it, and she did nothing about it, and these children continue to be exposed to this element, to this level of abuses. What I did was, and I know most African people will not do, this lady we're talking about today, who's unfortunately been deleted, I believe her community, their community of friends, family knew what she was going through. And I just
Of
think, most,
course, they knew. They always know. That's what I started the show with. Mm.
yeah, absolutely. And Auntie B, for this particular scenario that I've just mentioned to you about, I personally, at that point in
Mm-hmm.
time, I wasn't even a social worker. I was still contemplating going into social work, but at that point in time, I became really concerned for those children, and I knew we as community we have the duty of care. Everybody have the responsibility to make sure that we are all safe. I reported the matter to social services. I did. And I know some people would be like, oh, you're a whistleblower. Oh my God, look what you did to the family. No, I didn't do anything back to the family. As a matter of fact, I did something good for those children because the parents were not listening to me, even though I knew what they were going through, what the children were being exposed to. I gave them advices. No, that none of them took it on board.
And
And
you know the funny thing, Juliet, they will stay. Those parents will stay. None of them will be willing to leave, and they will continue in that mess.
that's exactly what happened. When I
Yeah.
reported the matter to social services, the police were involved. As a matter of fact, there was one scenario whereby mom and dad were fighting. The children were screaming really high. They were really, really shouting, screaming, really, really scared, frightened. And I just had to do something about it because I
You
couldn't
did the
let,
right thing. No, you
yeah,
did
I
the right.
couldn't
I
go
will
in.
never have any guilt for doing that. No,
The
I will
man
do the
was
same thing.
the man was really violent. Everyone was scared of him, and we all knew he
Yeah,
was violent. No one did
yeah,
anything about it. We've spoken to the parents, but they're not listening. So on that
yeah.
particular scenario, I contacted the police first of all. I
Mm-hmm.
reported about the abuse. They turned up, and I also made a safeguarding referral to children's social services because I wasn't really sure. I mean, within social services, there is a time frame where the police have to report issues to
Mm-hmm.
children's social services, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just miss it. They don't. They don't do anything about it. I reported the matter to social services. Those children, they do not end up in in foster care or into the care system, but at least a social worker became involved. Children's social services became involved. They work with the parents, and when the parents saw the severity of things, that's when they actually realized, oh, they really need to do something about it. And today, as we speak, the family is thriving. They're,
Yeah. Sometimes they need something to shock them out of,
yeah,
you know, their routine, that abusive pattern of behavior that they are in. Especially women. They need something because you know the thing that really wakes a woman up, there's nothing that wakes a mother up like the thought of the fear of her losing her children. If she
yeah.
knows that, because to the average African woman or African mom, they are thinking now, oh, social services are involved, I'm going to lose my children. So they will be able to come to their senses and behave. They will cooperate with services to do the right thing. So you did absolutely the right thing. Thank you so much, Juliet, my darling. Really appreciate your contribution. Love you very much. Wishing you the best to your family and your little girl. God bless you, my darling. Barry, I'm ending with you today. Yeah, the last but not the least. Welcome.
Auntie, good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm doing quite well, thank you.
Good,
Uh,
good, good.
uh, I, I will keep my two kobo very very short today.
Okay.
Um, I know somewhere in the comments area somebody, I think it was brother Osho, so he said something along the lines of
Oh yes, yes.
child support must have been one of the propelling factors to why he uh, went that route. This is not an unfamiliar route for me because uh, I have also experienced a couple of emotions, and I feel that when people go through certain things, divorce, there are a lot of emotions at play that nobody looks at. Even the person that's going through it does not address it at all. So I'm going to use myself as an example. Uh, After my divorce, after I was betrayed, and I worked for a company at the time that helped me in my recovery, in the sense that I went for therapy to address a lot of emotions that was going on. Now you may say, okay, I had that tool available, but there are other ways that you can. That one, if you look, you definitely find something. So I had to. I went through therapy to address a number of issues, and I resolved not to date for a while until all those anger, bitterness, feelings of betrayal
Mm-hmm.
was fully addressed,
For
because
you to heal. Yeah,
for me to heal.
yeah.
And even though, yes, the brother may have had a history of, or he had a history from what you've shared, of violence, but I think this was just a new level of anger for him that was not just addressed. And a lot of people, a lot of us, both the person, both the victim and hello,
Yes, go
hello,
ahead, Barry. I'm hearing
okay,
you. Yeah, we can hear
yeah,
you. Go ahead.
both the victim uh, and the other party who may have initiated the divorce are both going through it, and they both need therapy. So, and that is the part I'm coming from. He I feel did not seek help to address those issues, and a lot of Africans are shy when it comes to therapy. A lot of Africans are shy when it comes to counseling. Some people, if you mention it, they will say, "Oh, are you crazy?" They have this notion that therapy or counseling means that you are sick or something, but it is not in
It
any
means
way,
you
and
are
that
weak.
yes, and that has helped me tremendously in my journey, even on the lady's part, on the man's part. When you're going out with somebody and you know that this person is just coming out of a relationship, or that person is just coming out or just came out of a failed relationship, I mean a failed marriage, what question did you ask? Questions. How long was this relationship? Like, what happened during the course of the relationship? What role did you play? Now, this the reason why I'm stressing the what role did you play. That will give you, and that is an indicator to know if this person has healed, or if he's still dealing with that. If he's still dealing with that issue. I said it because somebody who hasn't dealt with this issue, with the issue internally, would put all the blame on the woman
Mm-hmm.
or on the man completely,
Yeah.
and not look at well, because it takes two to tango. It takes two people. It takes two people. When you're in a relationship, you're not in a relationship with yourself. So that's the thing. Like, we sometimes we don't ask the questions. these
Yeah.
emotions are these emotions are normal,
Yeah.
but the
What,
question
what
the
I hear
thing
you
is,
saying, Barry, is the fact that, you're talking, I mean, I really take on board what you're saying about healing instead of just having, what do they call those relationships when you just leave one relationship and you get into another one? There's a word for
rebound,
it.
a
Rebound.
rebound.
Yeah, that's the word. Instead of getting into a rebound, some people get into rebound marriages. Like there's
Yes,
literally no time. But I
yes,
mean, healing is you cannot just jump from one to the other. People need to heal. People are
yes,
people are hurt. And I believe that this Mongo Park was hot. Hosea, his name was. He was
Yeah,
probably hot,
he was.
and he didn't even take the time to heal. And boom, he went to marry another one from Africa. And this one now came and started doing like, okay, obodo women, like, okay, I want to show you that you can't do this and get away with it, because he never
And
took the time to heal or do the
on the other
work.
side, yes, he didn't. And that's the thing. And sometimes a lot of people are not aware of the emotions. They just get so they get swallowed up in those emotions. Now it takes some level of maturity to know when you are getting angry. If I'm talking to somebody right now and the person says something that rubs off on me negatively, for me, I'm speaking for myself. I know it's like there's this alarm that goes off in my body, like, okay, this person said, I don't like it. I'm getting angry. What I now do, I identify that feeling and I tell this person, like, you know what, let's do this some other time. I want to also discontinue this conversation because I don't like the route it is going. And also the man or the woman who may also be the victim of somebody of this Mongo Park also needs therapy. We understand fully that yes, we it's now bodo yibo we day, and it is not we want to fill in that gap, that vacuum. We feel alone sometimes, and we feel that vacuum in our hearts. We want somebody to fill it immediately, but you have to look internally to make sure you are in a healthy place. I think African brother said something. I forget one of the callers. He said something along the lines of hurt people hurt. I forget what he said. But to be, I think you know what I'm trying to point
Yeah,
at. Like
hurt people
that
hurt
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 people.
people. Yeah, hurt
Yes.
people hurt people. Yeah.
Yes. So, and that
Mhm.
is just the thing. We have to look internally to make sure that we are in the right place. We should not just dash into another relationship. And even when you're going into a relationship with somebody who was probably in a marriage, or ask those key questions. What role did you play in the failure of your relationship? What
Mhm.
led to the failure of the relationship? And
Mhm.
these are ways we may not be able to put out all the fires all around the world, but there are little things that we can do on our own to
Mhm.
to safeguard ourselves. my
Yeah.
mom my mom said something that God blessed, and God blessed women with the ability. How does she put it? Intuition. A
Yeah.
lot of women do not
Intuition.
listen to their intuition. I have
Mm.
not seen like, and the thing is, sometimes when certain things goes on, you will hear a woman say, "And my mind tell me that thing," oh." And that is your
Mm.
intuition. You see, but people do
Yeah.
not pay attention. They completely disregard their intuition. They just get led. They just get swallowed up by that emotion, by that feeling that they're
Mm.
going through. So
Thank
I
you.
pray that that somewhere for those who have gone through a hard relationship, and
Mhm.
that God should just help each and every one of us, because everybody is different, all relationships are different, that God should just give us the wisdom to know how to navigate through each and every one of our relationships. Thank you for your time. I
Amen.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Well spoken, my darling brother Barry. You're so well grounded. I'm telling you, over the farm men that we have here, we can't have Mongo Park here, Sha. It's not possible. They can only watch us, they will not call. Anyone that calls here, very grounded. So, what I hear you saying is about healing, taking the time to restore. Even if you feel like you did everything right in the relationship, the fact that you marry that person, eh? You need to reflect on that. You did everything right, oh. I'm a good person. I did everything right. I'm a good husband. I'm a good wife. The fact that you said yes to that person, that the relationship is now ended and it ended badly, is enough for you to reflect on. Why did I say yes? Why? What didn't I see? Did I take the time to actually know? Did I do my homework? These are things that you reflect on. And I hear what Barry is saying. Self-reflection, therapy, healing, taking the time to restock, reboot. Don't jump into another one. So thank you so much, my darling brother. And I'm getting a text message from a WhatsApp message from one of our sisters from Cameroon who said, "Hey, Sis B, I'm in Canada and I happen to know the half sister of the deleted Cameroonian woman, right? The half sister of this woman called, what was that her name again? She lives in Ontario, and she will be going to Montreal to bring the kids with her. And immigration is also processing and trying to expedite action on the grandmother's paper so she can travel to Canada to take care of the kids. That's the woman's mother now, right? Okay. And she went on to say that the sisters here, the sister doesn't even know that she was in a DV situation. Can you see that? Hmm. The sister didn't know she was in a DV situation. This is what someone was saying. Africans, we can hide things. We hide. But when it happens now, the whole world will hear. We sabi to bottle things. No, I can't tell anybody. What would they say? They will laugh me. They will mock me. They will do this. Look, if they laugh you today, they laugh you tomorrow. Next tomorrow, another person is the one they are laughing. They cannot laugh you forever. If they gossip you today, gossip you tomorrow. Next tomorrow, another person will happen. Stop thinking too much about what people will think. I know this is a real thing for us as Africans. How can the sister who lives in the same country, her half sister, doesn't know that she was in a DV relationship? Now she's the one that is going to take control of the children, going to take the children. Hmm? So the person is telling me now that this Mongopa had his eyes on the children's child tax benefits. See what that our brother Asho was saying? He's like he's a woli. He spoke from the spirit. It's about the benefit. This is someone that knows them that is saying that this Mongopa had his eyes on the child tax credits, tax benefit to the extent that even his mother knew about it. So they heard that he deleted her a day after being released from a serious DV situation. So it was all about the benefit after all. 3 children. Now you're going to live off them. It's amazing when we come from Africa and we come to the diaspora and the things that Igbo people put in place to help their community, we start deleting each other over it. Come on, show. What a pity. Chai, it is a shame. I mean, this is so sad, but again, so many lessons to learn. As sad as it is, we always have lesson. Mm, yeah, let's take the lessons from it so that we can do better. That's all we can hope for. Let's do better. Brothers, please, we are not against you. We love you. We have sons, we have husbands, we have boyfriends, we have brothers, we have uncles, we have daddies. So we don't hate. This is not a men hate group that is you hate men, you but it's about our culture, the things that you learn. Sometimes, lately, I started to have more understanding about where a lot of African brothers are coming from. Honestly, I have a deeper understanding than when we started this series about a year ago. I have more understanding now because they were never taught. A lot of men were never taught what it means to be a husband. What is the responsibility of a husband? It's only women that were taught how to be wives. And that is another lesson that we need to take away from here. Parents, if you keep teaching your daughters alone, they are going to end up with men that were not taught how to be husbands. They were never taught. Never. A lot of them, except the few ones who grew up in families where they saw their fathers, that were role models, they were good fathers, they were good husbands, and they showed them. A lot of them grew up with Mongo Park daddies, and their mothers suffered. And somebody was saying something earlier on about, Mongo Park mother-in-laws. There are a lot of them out there who suffered so much abuse. And now they've turned around they want their daughter-in-laws to experience the same thing they suffer. And that's why they're always against them. And that's why they will support their sons to be abusive and they look away. Because they too experience it. Hurt people hurt people. This is all they know. So to them now, why would you not experience the same thing that I experienced? So our brothers, there's a lot of learning, especially those of you that live in a diaspora, like Uncle Ade keeps saying, please immerse yourself in learning. We asked Pastor Shola when we invited him a while ago to talk about. I said, Pastor Shola, how did you learn all these things now? You are so passionate about women affairs. You're always advancing women's cause. Yeah, he said, I made friends with Oyibo people when I came here. I was working in an oil company. So I saw the way they were treating their women. They treated their women like that they were saints. So I said, is this I started to learn? Brothers, please learn. Because at the end of the day, nobody they gain. When things happen like this, nobody they gain. There's no winner. And that's why I always tell you guys, it's not a gender battle, man against woman. No, I have sons. I have 3 sons. I want them to grow up to be good husbands, to love their wives, to be affectionate, to be providers, to be everything. So it's not a gender war. It's about the things that we learn growing up, the negative things that we learned about relationship, or what our parents failed to teach us. Because some of us, it's only the negative aspect that we learned growing up. Yes, the way you were brought up, the way you were socialized. What did you experience your father doing? What did you experience on your uncles doing? In this day and age, you still see people that live in the diaspora and they will tell you that, no, I can never do this. My father didn't do it. My mother didn't do it. What happened 50 years ago, is that a yardstick for your marriage today? It's about our willingness to change. This is what Uncle Ade is always saying: evolve, learn, unlearn. So when I was growing up, women didn't pay a lot of bills. It was the men that was the main providers. So women were doing trading or whatever they were doing, but the man is always the one that is burdened with all the responsibility. But today, we know that, it won't work. Women, as much as you are working now, you need to bring in something. A good wife will not sit down. You will see your husband struggling financially, and you will just make your money and be looking. And you will relax and say, my money is my money. Your money is our money. No, that is bad. That is not marriage. That's not partnership. The same way, you cannot say I'm an African man. I didn't see my father wash plates. I didn't see my father change diapers, so I can never ever change diapers. Please. It won't work. We need to learn to work together. Let's learn to involve and learn marriage for 20th century. Most of us are emulating marriages that are obsolete, that were a lot of our mothers were abused. All the experience was abusive marriages. A lot of our fathers, as much as we love our fathers, a lot of them were abusive. That's the truth. Do you really want to be like that? Do you really? Sometimes we need to do meeting with ourselves. Only you go call yourself for meeting like this, you go do meeting. You go look am from this angle, look am from this angle. Only you go debate. If you know better, you got to do better. Insecurity, dangerous emotions. If you are struggling with insane jealousy, insecurity, please deal with it. Get some help. Speak to someone. Pray about it. Whatever you need to do, acknowledge it and deal with it. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all very much for tonight. Please give it a thumbs up. Share it if you can. I appreciate you. God bless you. Thank you for tonight. Tomorrow I'm back. We have a story tomorrow that is very heart-wrenching that I want to share. We don't like trolls here, Donna Tony. Please, don't cause confusion here if you've never been here before. Calm down. We block trolls here. Don't calm down, please. Okay? You can share your comments without being, abusive to anybody. I don't want to block you. I've never seen you before, but there's a way we operate here. This atmosphere is for learning, so please calm down. No abuse anybody. Thank you so much, Gravitas. I appreciate you. Tomorrow I'm sharing a very heart-wrenching story about a woman who lives in Europe. And she said that she sacrificed her life to come and prostitute in Europe for her family and how they paid her back. She's sharing the experience with us tomorrow and she's totally broken. She's in pain. So we are just going to lift her up and try to get her some help because she's going through a lot at the moment. Oh my God, her story will break your heart, but it's all about learning again and how, if you're a Christian, you know that Christ has already died on the cross of Calvary. He was a sacrificial lamb. You don't need to sacrifice yourself, because if you sacrifice yourself for family, oh, anyway, we're here tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you. Love you guys very much. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done so. And I'll see you tomorrow night. Same time, 7 p.m. UK time, GMT, Nigerian time. Thank you very much, everyone. I appreciate you. Love you guys very much. And I'll see you tomorrow night. Bye, guys. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Don Anthony, I don't know. Take am easy. No, let us block you. Bye, guys.